Once we repair this building and restore this building, it's brand new on the inside. We got to restore it because it was damaged. But brothers and sisters, modern. We don't have to worry about asbestos. We don't have to worry about lead paint. We don't have to worry about asbestos. We don't have to worry about lead paint. Brothers and sisters, we need the FDMG sign very large on all 4 buildings. I want to put the big logo in glass. I want it to light up at night. So when somebody drives down Ifatunde Boulevard, when somebody drives down Ifatunde Boulevard, when somebody drives down Ifatunde Boulevard, they will see the FDMG sign lit up at night. Cows, horses, chickens. Buck, buck, the loosey goosey. You buck, 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 the loosey goosey. You buck, 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 buck. Anyone who has hated on me or this, you are not allowed in my school for the rest of your life. You can't come to an event. You can't come to the Pan African Youth Conference. You can't come to the Black Women's Fashion Show, the Black Women's Conference. You can't come to the study groups. You can't come to the think tanks. You can't come to none of the formals, none of the parties. You can't come to the yoga class. You can't come to the fitness center. You can't visit the Pan African Library. If you have ever hated on me or my school, your ass is not allowed. And if I catch you loitering around my campus. How we doing there, gorgeous? I want to have a conference. I want music. I want fashion show. I want seminar. I want yoga class. I want African language. I want a musical concert.
Oh, say, can you see the abandoned buildings behind me? I don't mean to criticize, but I'm tired of the lies. There's no HVAC to be seen. Donde estás, brother Jose Martin? What about the taxes still owed? 119 stacks, truth be told. And the rock still sits there, the only thing that gets care. No school to be found, plenty of trash on the ground. Oh, see that trap bando scampus right over there. Run them donations, 'cause it ain't free, 'cause it's a scam. Can't you see?
Right across the street, we got a big park. We want to rent that out and do a big park, a big celebration with food and festivals and activities for the children with over 100 vendors.
FDMG is coming, FDMG is coming, FDMG is coming, is coming. FDMG is coming, FDMG is coming, FDMG is coming, is coming, it's coming. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, oh, it's coming, FDMG. coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking, it's twerking.
Bit surprised. The singing too was I didn't expect that. But sabotage. That's the theme of the day right now with Umar, with this so-called vandalism. I'm gonna tell people right now, based upon the forensic evidence and the research that I've done, the vandalism, supposed vandalism inside of the large gym, that vandalism took place years ago. No doubt about it. It's just Umar's bringing it up now because he wants to get people to donate. He's in dire straits. He's in survival mode. That damage, the vandalism, that took place a long time ago. Furthermore, I want people to recognize that what was vandalized in that large gym, really larger gym, was Umar Johnson's belongings, books, clothes. I even saw computer speakers. There's also that big back TV that used to be at his previous residence from 2019. There's a poll question too, by the way. How long has Umar Johnson been homeless? And I provided the paperwork earlier this week to show this, and it coincides with what has taken place with his belongings being placed and moved into the larger school, what he calls the larger school. How long has Umar Johnson been homeless? 4 choices: since 2011, since 2015, since 2019, and since 2023. Get your vote in during this live stream. We're going to go for about an hour. Okay, I'm going to do my best, maybe hour 15, because I got to get some sleep. I just want to make sure that we finish up with this vandalism saga. It's always something with Umar. Also have something, shout out to Brother Dion, where Umar, he was being interviewed by Father David, and shout out to the Cook Rush chat. Thank you guys for being here. He was being interviewed by Father David, and he tells a story about a woman, I guess, that called him or something like that. I'm not quite sure. From Wilmington, called him. I'm not quite sure what but he tells a story. I want to get into that today before we finish this live stream. So I want to try to get this done in an hour. Also, I just want to people, please understand that there was more going on with Umar in the video that we watched yesterday when there were children inside of the abandoned buildings. In fact, it's been verified. Umar, not only did he go off on the children, because he paused it. I saw the video today. He paused it, and he probably did that because the children were saying stuff back to him, and he probably went off. Okay, I'm speculating there, but I believe that that's what took place, and Umar didn't want people to see that or hear that. What I can say with 100% certainty is that he did call the police on these children. And in point of fact, he has a conversation with the police officer. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There's so much more going on with this whole scenario. And when it comes to the vandalism, none of that would have mattered if Umar did not move his personal belongings into those abandoned buildings. None of that would have taken place. And he moved those things a long time ago. That vandalism took place a long time ago. Interesting enough, one last point before we get going here is I did a video today to do a side-by-side comparison. I think I should play it for everyone too during this live stream, but it's up for everyone. Then I also did another one for members only that does a side-by-side to show that Umar Johnson's belongings from his previous residence were taken after he was evicted years ago. And then he put them to store them inside of the larger school. And that's where we see that big back television. Well, there's something else, though, that I believe it's in the video where Umar has his followers in there. I do a side-by-side comparison, one from 2019, the other one from 2025. And Umar says something at the end of it. Matter of fact, let's do this. I want to play that for you all. And then when we get to the end, I want to see if anyone figures it out. Okay, that'll be our little exercise for today. And then we'll get into the main video for today, which is the third video where Umar is explaining the vandalism and he's outside. Okay, so let's start with that. Here we go. This is all his personal belongings. Books, bookshelves, pictures, picture frames. There's a big back TV in here. His clothes. See shoes? See shoes? I just saw that. Mail. You guys see that? I did not catch that the last time, but you see the red, black, and green shoe right there? This is Umar's belongings. There's hats over there. You know, Umar has a lot of hats. I missed that too. I'm just seeing it now. You guys don't mind. Let me just do this. He moved this stuff in many years ago. Yeah, pictures. Yeah, see the shoe? Red, black, and green. That's Umar's stuff. There was that TV as well. Well, let me go back. I want to see something else. Yeah, you see the hats up there next to the logo? So this is all of his belongings. Yeah. There's his clothes, bags of clothes. There was also suitcases. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play the side by side. When we get to the end, I'm going to see if anyone figures this out. It's really interesting. Check this out.
Peace and love, black family. This is the Prince of Pan Africanism, King Kong Consciousness. We live inside the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, Fred Douglass building. I'm going to let you some of the scholars at Ifa Tunde University.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Black
We
power.
in the school.
Black power. Black power.
You know what I mean?
Black power. Black power.
Up in there.
Yeah, baby. You got Brother Ryan, no doubt, looking out for us. You know what I mean? So tell me what's your thing? Give me some words.
By the way, I forgot to mention, that's a picture down there too, right there. You see that?
Yeah.
On the ground? Yeah. Someone also mentioned it looks like it's spray paint. Yeah, it does. It looks like it's a bunch of spray paint. And the other thing is that it's baked into the floor, and the different things that have been strewn about, that's baked into the floor as well. This has been sitting here for a very, very long time.
What do you think so far to walk through?
I was going to mention. I forgot my point. Let it play. Here we go.
Tour.
It's
How
nice.
you liking the school?
It's nice.
You feeling it, Samantha? What you think?
The potential.
Oh, this is what I want to say. Just in all fairness, because I'm big on integrity, I did take the video footage of the inside that he showed from 2025 with all the stuff strewn around, and I put it into Premiere Pro. And one of the things I did was I added what do they call that? It's a lighting effect so that you can see, because it's kind of dark in there. You can see things a lot clearer than what we would normally be able to see. But I just want to say that nothing else has been changed. It's just it's a way to so that people can really see what's happening inside, what's all the stuff that's in there. Whereas before it's a lot darker. Okay, I just want to make that announcement to people in all fairness. Okay.
I see the before, and the potential of the after is going to be phenomenal, tremendous.
All right, what you think, Sister Sabrina?
I see the after and the awesome after, and what can I say? Destiny.
From a brother's perspective, how we gonna be? We gonna be all right with the kids in here? You think the boys gonna love it here?
Yes, indeed, brother. Y'all gonna be well, and you got an excellent teacher and a scholar.
Man. That's love. That's love. Frenchie, what you think?
Oh my goodness, the school is huge, it's spacious, it's beautiful. I can't wait to see the end
What
results.
type of events you can see us doing on the campus?
Oh my goodness, sports events, community events. Ifatande University.
All right. What you think, Sharon?
Excited. Wow, just to kind of watch, from the ceiling to now.
You guys do realize that where they're standing, that's where all of this trash and filth is located. Okay, Umar has gone backwards. In other words, he's gone backwards in 6 years. He went from, it doesn't look too bad in there. In fact, I think it looks pretty good inside that large gym back in 2019. But here we are now in 2025, and it's a complete mess. And part of the reason why it's a complete mess was because Umar uses this as his own personal storage, because he's been homeless for many years now. And he's a hoarder too. We've talked about that.
Now, but I think it looks like a college campus. The classrooms are I don't even know. Speechless. Proud of you.
What you think, Tiff?
I am excited. A lot of black children, African children, are going to be protected from the claws of white supremacy, black power, race first.
All right, Tino.
Just excited to get the young boys in and get them out, man. Just excited for everything.
All right. Sister Deanna.
Oh, this is a phenomenal campus. The school is here. We need your donations. Donate.
Yeah, by the way, I think that this is one of Umar's African artifacts right here. It's like an African doll or something like that. That's what I think that is. I could be wrong, but that's what I think that is right there.
We need your donations. Donate.
Douglas.
Long time coming, but we finally got it. Bring your kids here if you're concerned about the future of kids. Black power.
No doubt. Brian.
Go Mind. You hear me? This is a place. This is Black Town. This is what we need to have here. Wilmington, Delaware.
No
Peace.
doubt. Sister Shauna.
Listen, history does not happen overnight. This is the start of history. I can't wait to see what comes out of here, and I can't wait to contribute.
Oh man, powerful. Douglas, West Side.
Donate.
All right.
Yes,
Now,
donate.
peace.
This is very powerful, very beautiful. This school is going to be off the chain.
Sister Julie, what you think of the school so far, Queen?
This is the stuff dreams are made of.
Oh man, powerful.
Nightmares, maybe. Nightmares.
Where'd Brother Ron go? Oh, he stepped off. I was gonna get you on there, Brother Ron, real quick. You know what I mean? You from Wilmington. You know, let them know that the community can't wait to support the movement.
That's right. It's about time something like this is coming to hit Wilmington. We got a lot of issues here. We know this brother right here can make some positive impact on our society. My thing is, if you're doing it wrong and somebody's coming in and do something different, let's do that, because if you continue to do the same thing, expecting change, you know what that means. So let's do this thing right.
Thank you, Brother Ron.
Yeah, you guys see how there's dust on all this stuff? That's because this is old. This stuff's been sitting in here for a long time. This vandalism is old too.
Yes, indeed, y'all. We inside the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I'm doing a tour with E5 Tunde University. You know what I'm saying? We up in here, FDMG. Get them donations in. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. Donate. Yes, sir. We need them donations, black family. Let's get it popping. So you know what? We're going to walk back to the other side so I can put the alarm back on, and we're going to go visit school number 2. We up in here, FDMG.
Did anyone catch that? Then we're going to get to it. Okay. Anyone catch that at the end? What did Umar say? See this? He's a con man. Yeah. What's up, Kevin? I ain't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing all right. Shout out to Cook Set too. I got to give shout outs too. Yeah, it's the same thing, Alakia. Hey, Amir, how you doing? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. There's no telling how long because you know he never goes over there. But that damage and stuff and the paint, no, that's old. I mean, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, 3 years. Okay, he moved all that stuff in there many years ago after he got evicted, and he's been homeless ever since. It's a disgrace. So I want people to understand that the reason why I think this is relevant to me, him saying this at the end, is because he's inside of the larger building, a larger gym, and he's saying that they want to go back. They need to go back to the other side of this building to set the alarm. There's no electricity in this building at that time in 2019, and there's still no electricity in 2025. Well, Umar, if you had an alarm system back in 2019, wouldn't you have one in 2025? And if you had one in 2025, wouldn't that alarm had gone off when people broke into that building to do all of that sabotage and all of this vandalism? See what I mean? Play one more time, then we'll get to the video. I ain't gonna hold you long today, okay? For sure. I got to get me some sleep. Play one more time.
Donate, 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 donate. Yes, sir. We need them donations, black family. Let's get it popping. So you know what? We're going to walk back to the other side so I can put the alarm back on, and we're going to go visit school number 2. We up in here, FDMG, Tunde University. Shout out to all my donors. You know what I'm saying? It's been all love.
Okay. He's saying we're going to walk back to the other side of this building, because this is the large building, so that he can turn on the alarm. He says turn it on, right? I think he says something like that. Not turn it off.
Yes, sir. We need them donations, black family. Let's get it popping. So you know what? We're going to walk back to the other side so I can put the alarm back on, and we're going to go.
Put the alarm back on, because that means he took it off. He turned the alarm off. And then he says it so that we can go what?
Visit school number 2. We up in here.
Then they're going to go visit school number 2. That's the school across the street. You guys see what this guy's doing? He's such a con man. He was lying about the alarm system for the other side of the street, though, too, back in 2019, 2020. No electricity over there. And we were calling him out. And what he ended up doing was he went through there. He put batteries in it. But he went through there and he was like, yeah, we do have one line of electricity coming down like this. I said, boy, this guy's nuts. But this is what Umar does. He's a pathological liar. Okay. Okay. So I would like to get through the last video today. And if you haven't seen the other videos, just check out this series. This is part 4 of the series. I wanted to go back and play some of what Umar was saying. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll play the end. Okay, when the children come out of the building all the way to the end. It's probably about 5 minutes, and then we'll go to the final video. Okay, SH Play says Umar has lied so big and so long that it's hard for his followers to imagine it's never going to happen. Yeah. He has spun so many different narratives. All of the narratives are designed to make his followers believe that, one, there's all this opposition against Umar to get this project done. What he calls sabotage, and he's using vandalism right now. But then also, 2, that it's everyone else's fault except him. And that in the midst of all these types of things happening, including this so-called vandalism, he needs them to support him even more. And there are those who are rallying more to Umar, but it's only through manipulation. You know, he spun so many false narratives over the years. I mean, the truth be told, this is another false narrative, this vandalism. See, again, Umar wants to make it seem as if the vandalism, it was, you know, yeah, he had some books in there. No, he had all of his stuff in there. He's been homeless. He has his clothes in there. He has his books in there. He has his pictures that were used to be on the wall inside of his apartment. He has shoes in there. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And a TV that was inside his old place of residence. Okay, so again, spinning these narratives, you know, there's something called the sunk cost fallacy. Let me just say this before we move on. That is when someone contributes to or believes in something, or maybe they donate to something, or maybe they assist someone in something, and the more they do it, the more difficult it is for them to stop, even if what they're contributing to, what they're supporting, is not legit. This makes sense? But because of their investment into it, they feel as if they walk away, then the cost that whatever it costs for them to support it, all of a sudden it just disappears, and they don't want to waste that, right? So they just keep contributing. They keep contributing. And so what Umar has done is he's manipulated his followers to keep contributing, even though nothing's going anywhere. In fact, it's actually regressed. But because he spins these narratives and manipulates them, they want to keep contributing. And it's all about the sunk cost fallacy for a lot of these people at this point. So they, even if it's in plain sight, if the truth is in plain sight, they will not see it because of the manipulation, because of Umar lying to them over and over again and spinning all these false narratives over and over again. The time that they invested, the money that they invested, also, the time that they spent online defending Umar, all that goes into the sunk cost fallacy. And then all the lying just fortifies all that. See, but if people dealt with the reality of the situation, including his followers, if they looked at this critically, if they used common sense and logic and reason, and they did enough research and put together a timeline, I've done a timeline, they'll realize very quickly that it wasn't worth it back then. It's not worth it today. In fact, it's even less worth it today. But because of the sunk cost fallacy, people continue to support. Yeah. Again, the side by side. Someone recommended that yesterday. I can't remember who it was, and I took the time to do that today. But that's all, in my opinion, that's all anyone needs to see. How do you go in 2019 with a gym? It looks decent to me. See this? This is 2019, and you go from that in 2019 to where Umar moves all his stuff in there, and here we are now in 2025, and it's a complete mess. It's way worse than what it was before. Let me show you guys something else too, because you can see it a lot better now that I've brightened up the video. Look in the background up against that wall. See, that's not normal. You guys see that? Look at all, I mean, it's just trash and filth right back, just stacked up against the wall. That didn't happen yesterday. It didn't happen a month ago, as Umar said. This stuff has been sitting in here rotting for years now, in my opinion. See more trash bags back there, boxes of Umar's stuff. This is why Umar hasn't even shown this interior. He hasn't shown this since 2019. Yeah, he's going backwards. But again, because people with the sunk cost fallacy and Umar lying, they just keep going with it. And it's amazing. It really is. Thank you, SH Play, for super chat. And Ike says, how is he going to explain his slack jaw? He can't. He can't explain it. But if people do the research, because I've researched this, all the blinking, when Umar does all the blinking, you know, that's another one of the symptoms. There's other things too that is explained. I've looked into this. It's amazing that people, because and I don't mean to say it this way. We gotta get going because I will tell my wife hour and 20 minutes, hour 30 minutes. It's amazing because there are Black people who have family members who have substance abuse issues, and they've seen it their whole life, but then for some reason they don't see it in Umar. That's amazing to me. But this kind of ties back to what SH Play is saying. See, if Umar, if he's lying to the people for extended periods of time, and they believe that he's this great Black leader, and they believe that he's beyond reproach, and they believe that he's a school psychologist, none of that's true. They believe that he's the most requested scholar. They believe that he's the Prince of Pan Africanism. They believe that he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass, which he's not. He's none of these things. When they see what is right there in plain sight that they could see in anyone else, they just don't see it. It's just the blinders are on. See? It's amazing. So when we get to that video, I'm going to outline that. In fact, if someone reminds me, I can go and pull up the video where Umar goes to turn the heat down, and when he comes back, you'll see. Okay, you'll see some similarities between the two. Okay. All right. Thanks, Ike, for the super chat. What's up, Indigo? Indigo's been around a really long time. Okay, so thank you so much. Good to see you. Said yesterday's video was an absolute classic. Yeah, it was. It really was. That's why I told myself today we're going to get in here and get out. Really, this whole week has been crazy, hasn't it been? It's like back to back Memphis this month. All right. Shout out to the Cookie Crush Dad. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I hope you guys have been enjoying these live streams. There is a poll. If you can vote, get your vote in. We'll have it up for like maybe another 45 minutes. And then we won't be here as long. So the goal's not 500. Okay. I'll take whatever y'all want to give me. Okay. I appreciate y'all. All right. I'm talking about the likes. But if you enjoy the show at any given point, go and hit that like button. We already got 600 people in the building. Okay. If everyone here right now, if they just hit the like button right quick, take you about 2 seconds, we'll be over 500. Okay, I don't know, it ain't gonna happen. I know, because some of y'all is Umar and that's Umar Umar followers. Y'all don't want to hit the like. I get it. All right. Okay, how's it going, Sequoia? Thanks for being here, Cargamel. Hey, BB, how you doing? Dr. Savior's in the building. Dr. Savior Jr. Karen's in the building as well, and Brother Barry. Thank you so much, Barry, for tuning on in. Virgo. Hey, how you doing, Virgo? Thanks for tuning on in. And Sharif, Edwin, just give us some shout outs. What's up, Seth? Hope you're doing all right. And those people in that video have viewed at least 10. I'm sure they have. They've seen some of these. A lot of those people, they're not around anymore. Someone that asked that. Some of them, right? But most of them, I would say out of all the people that were around back in the day, 95% of them, maybe 97% of them, they're not around anymore. because they realize what it is. Okay, it does. It looks like a hurricane ran through there, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Over time, things should be looking better. I mean, it's been 6 years and 4 months, but that's not what we see. We see regression. We see the deterioration, and part of it is that on that side of the street, no electricity, no HVAC, no heating, no cooling. So in essence, it's like that gym, and really that side of the street, when it's really, really hot, it's like an oven. When it's really, really cold, it's like a freezer. So Umar's storing his stuff in that, and just the extremes in temperature is going to impact the whatever's in there, including books, by the way. See, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy if they're so valuable, right? So that's why when you look at the forensics with the video, you'll see that it's not just that the books are down on the ground; they're baked into the floor because I'm telling you, it's probably years. Over the years, the paint has baked itself because of the extreme heat has baked itself into the floor. The books have baked them, and all the other stuff that's piled on top has baked itself in the floor. In fact, I guarantee that if you guys went up there, it's not like you can just walk up there and just take a book up off at least in some of those areas, just take the book right up off the ground. You're probably going to have to struggle with it and pull it so that you can, break it out of it being compacted into the ground. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, right? What's up, Radiant? Thanks for tuning on in. SH Places Lenon. I don't mind if you save my super chats until later for the sake of time. Oh no, it's okay. I try to get to all of them when I see them. There's times where I'll kind of run my mouth and I'll come back to them. But I always address people's super chats. Okay, thank you so much, SH Play, for all the support. I do appreciate it, and everyone else too. Thank you so much. Okay, okay, real quick. Sal says, "What looks worse, his room when he flipped the phone, or that gym? Looks the same to me. What looks worse? That's a good question. I'm not going to play it because I created this for the members. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the side by side with Umar's room back in 2019, which is kind of spoils the poll a little bit, and the gym in 2025. Let me see, where do I have this located? Oh no, I know. I titled it "Where's the Big Back TV?" Oh my goodness. What is this? Umar Johnson, FDMG allegedly vandalized part. What is this? Part 1. Oh, okay. I know what this is. Okay, I'm tripping. Let's go to this folder right here, and we're looking for this side, not the side by side, but this one right here. Okay, I'm not going to play it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip through, and you guys can look, and you guys tell me, what do you think? Which one looks worse?
Strong. Send those resumes.
Okay, so we can see on 2025, you can see what the gym looks like. And then this is what we were referring to in terms of all of the filth in Umar's apartment. You see this? I would have to say that Umar's apartment looks worse because it's a much smaller space. And for him to be, wow, that's crazy. And there's that TV up over there. So y'all see the TV? I would say that it looks worse. I mean, obviously there's more in the gym, but to me, it looks worse over inside of his apartment because stuff is just stacked on top of, and he's living in this. You see what I'm saying? For many years, almost a decade, actually it's at least a decade, because he got an eviction in 2010. Well, at least 9 years. He got an eviction notice in 2010. He resolved it. It was a complaint. And then in 2019, he got another complaint from the landlord, and he was unable to resolve that. And that's when, well, I just spoiled the poll. Okay. So anyway, that's your answer for the poll. But in my opinion, what do y'all think inside the Cookie Crush chat? What looks worse? I would say his apartment looks worse because he's living in there, and it's a much more compact space. Yeah. And you see, this is Umar Johnson's clothes. This is his clothes in these bags over here. And then let me show you what I show at the end. If you guys look carefully, and this is a members video, that's why I don't want to play it, but you guys look closely here. There's that big back TV. That's from 2019. There's that big back TV in 2025. Now it's inside of the large gym. He's a hoarder. He's been holding on to this, and who knows how old that TV is. Anyone want to get a guess in the Cook Crush out how old that TV is? It's got to be from the 90s, I would think. It's got to be. Okay. Thanks, Sal, for the super chat. I appreciate it. I mean, it's all bad, but I think it's worse in his apartment because he had been living there for such a long time, and it's such a small enclosed space, and it's just filthy, you know, stacked all up against the wall. Both, it's all bad. Real talk. Thanks, Al. Black Wolf's gifted a membership. Thank you, Black Wolf. Whoever received that membership, make sure you thank Black Wolf, and Cook said thank Black Wolf as well. Okay, very kind. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Yeah, 25 years old. 2005, 1997. It could be the 90s. I would think that it's from the 2000s, but it could be it could be the 90s. Someone said 1900s. Okay, let's go. Let's get going. I don't want to get caught up in his chat room today like yesterday. We was wilding out. Okay, so real quick recap. We played the video over the last couple of days. We played the video where Umar talks about the graffiti outside. It's nothing major. Then he shows the video with and we played it earlier inside of the interior of the large gym. His personal belongings scattered all over the place, paint all over the place, trash, filth, so forth and so on. Then Umar, he comes out and he does a video to talk about these things. This was the first one, just to kind of recap. And he doesn't seem upset. In fact, he seems a bit joyous. Someone calls in, etc. And then there's a second one. This is what we were covering yesterday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip through the part where the children, he learns that there's children inside of these abandoned buildings and no electricity. This is the same building where all that trash and filth is located. And in that video that he showed, that's the large gym. Who knows whatever else is inside of this building over there on that side street, which is the larger building. Okay. All right. So let me just scroll through here. Yeah, here it is right here. I'll play this. It's about 3 minutes. No, it's about 7 minutes, and then we'll go to the third and final video of him talking about all this.
What grade you in, Prince? Fifth. You in the 5th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
right.
y'all brothers, y'all look alike. So you're about to go to the 3rd.
Hey, Divine, thanks for tuning in.
So when we open up this school, it's going to be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, right? So 4th grade, you might be here, right? 4th grade, you might be here. You're going to the 6th. Oh, you're going to the 6th grade. We might not catch you until we in this building, the high school. And to my young princesses, we will be.
Yeah, Florida Psychological Crime Review. He's in Delaware right here. This is in Delaware, but he did have a school scam in Detroit. I can pull it up if you guys want me to. He was trying to get money out of people. That was a big lie he was telling back then. Crazy. But he did have a scam in Detroit. He had it all throughout the country. And it's not just in here. He also had one inside in Europe. He was talking about Manchester and all these different Yorkshire and all this stuff. And then, of course, in Africa, too. You know, FDMG Ghana and all this type of stuff. He's a con man. All right, here we go.
Opening up the Anna Douglas Amy Garvey Academy for young princesses.
Yeah, Marcus.
As well.
Just
so it's going to be boys first, and then it's going to be girls. So all y'all might one day be students at the school. Say that again. Some people just went and win. When? You saw somebody walk in this building. What door?
They gonna come out here.
No. Nobody walked in this door. I've been here the whole time.
No, they walked in that door because they got here. They can come through that door.
So y'all been seeing the people who've been breaking into the school?
Yeah, so there's 3 different doors on that side of the street.
Wait a minute.
See, Umar, he doesn't have a grasp on any of this kind of thing. He doesn't. He does not have control. While he's out here outside of this building running his mouth, there's children on the inside of it. I mean, come on, y'all. That's nuts. He's supposed to be that's y'all's principle.
Yo! Excuse me. Get out that school. Yo! Come out. This private property. I need y'all off.
I didn't go in there.
Okay, my brother. I believe you, young prince. I need you out. I need you out of here. This is a school. This is a school, young people. This is a school, young people. What are we doing?
That's not no school. Those abandoned buildings.
What are we doing? What are we doing, family? What are we doing? Let me find out. It's the little people.
And what you gonna do, Umar? I'm trying to threaten him. By the way, there is another video that shows Umar. He actually pauses the video, the live stream. He took this live stream down, but he pauses it in the original. And in my opinion, he was probably going off on these kids. There was a child that was filming it. If that ever gets onto the internet, there's no telling. you know, to see what Umar was saying to these kids. So he pauses it, and then all of a sudden it cuts to where he's talking to a police officer.
Let me ask you a question. All right? Y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. It's okay, King. You're all right. You're all right, my brother. Don't worry about it. We about to get the locks changed right now. I'm waiting for my locksmith to show up. We're going to change the locks. Somebody broke in. We're going to change the locks. Sister.
I thought he said he left the door open. See, he's all over the place with this. You guys see this? You guys hit the one? His story is all over the place. Now he's saying they broke in, but he also said that he had left the door open. This guy, he's something else. What's up, James? I like the baby with the keyboard right there. Now are you what are you saying? Now are you doing? Does he think he is actually fooling people? Oh, I think you're saying, how are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm actually feeling a lot better. I'm almost 100%, but I've been sick for, I don't know, it's been a month. Thanks, James. Says, does he think he is actually fooling people and not think that people wouldn't follow up? Well, the truth is that most of his followers, overwhelmingly, they're not going to follow up. They listen to what he says. They believe what he says. And like, who was it that said that earlier? See, they're so used to him lying to SH Play. They're used to Umar lying to them, and they don't see it as lies. So they just believe anything. But see, we talked about this a couple of days ago. What the plan is, at least as we cover this particular saga, because it's always something. And this is, we still got to come up with an official name for it. The vandalism saga, whatever you want to call it. We have an opportunity here over the next couple of months, over the next 6 months or so, to see whether or not Umar actually does what he says he's going to do, which I don't think he will, because he does this all the time. It's about getting money. What he said was that he's going to start working on the other side of the street, which is the side of the street where the children are coming out, that side of the street. No electricity. He hasn't done any work over there. He uses that as his personal storage because he's been homeless for many years now. So what we're going to do over the next couple of months, 6 months or so, I mean, it can even go through a year, is to see whether or not Umar starts renovations over there on the other side of the street. I don't think he is. But see, he's telling people that so that they do what? They give him money. And that's what I mean. Like, he just fools people over and over again. And they're not going to think about it. They're not going to ask critical questions about it. You know, a critical question, James, that his followers should be asking is why did you store your books in there in the first place? You don't, there's no HVAC over there. There's no electricity over there. They've been sitting over there for 6 years now. Real talk. I'm going to say it now. He was evicted in 2019, and then he moves his stuff into that side of the street. And then he tells people, listen, we're not going to work on that side of the street. Now we see why. We're going to focus on the other side of the street. See, it doesn't make sense. And then the thought came to my mind, just as a critical thinker, then why didn't Umar just move his stuff onto the other side of the street where he's done some renovation work, where there is electricity, so forth and so on? Well, if he did that, people who would be coming through there while they're doing paint days, while they're doing cleanup days, you know, when he had electricians come through there, or when he had the block party, they would see all of his belongings and then start asking critical questions. See, there's so much that's revealed through this, including the fact that he's homeless. That's why his stuff was in the large gym in the first place for years now. Okay? So yeah, I think he knows that he can fool his followers, at least the ones that are not willing to ask the critical questions. They're dealing with the sunk cost fallacy, as we talked about earlier. They've been lied to so much that they accept whatever Umar Johnson says. You know, there are people that will be fooled by this. But what I have observed in the comment sections of people who are commenting on this series of videos that Umar posted on different YouTube pages, even some of his most stout supporters, they're criticizing him for this, and they're asking critical questions. They're criticizing him. They're calling him the task. What we're going to do is we're going to see. I explained this yesterday. If Umar actually starts with renovations in the next week, the next month, next 2 months, and he does this consistently over time to where we see improvements being made on the other side of the street, then okay, cool. However, if we don't see that taking place where he's renovating over there, he starts soon and he's renovating consistently. I'm not talking 6 months from now, a year from now. I'm talking about like within the next couple of weeks, because that's what he said. That was what the plan is. He needs people to send him money, give some donations. And then he starts and he consistently do, and we see improvements over time, or we don't see improvements over time. Okay, well then it becomes clear. It should become clear, including to his followers, that no, he just said that to get more money out of people. And see, that's what he's been doing anyway. That's the whole game. Make these promises. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, but I need. And then he never fulfills what he says he's going to do. And it's been going on over a decade now. It's been going on for such a long time. St. Paul's College, 2014. He said in 2010, the school was going to open September 11, 2013. It's crazy. St. Paul's 2014. Yeah. So we'll do the follow-up. Okay. We'll stay on this and we'll see what happens. Okay. But his followers, yeah, some of them going to buy into it, but more and more of them are waking up because it's gotten more and more ridiculous. The whole situation is, but the fact he even there's kids up in there, he's outside running his mouth. That's crazy. And he don't know the kids are in there. Someone could take that video and send it to the proper authorities in Wilmington, and it's a wrap right there. It's a wrap. Thanks, James, for the super chat. I appreciate it. No Contendo says, have you sent your findings or made contact with to Wilmington city reps? Has the school collected by law infractions since 2019? Email structural engineer city reps foundation roof and kids inside. No, I haven't contacted anyone in Wilmington outside of contacting the Delmarva to see, and this was back in 2019, I believe. It might have been 2020, but I think it was 2000. No, I think it was in 2020. I contacted them and I'd asked specifically if whether or not there were active accounts for the addresses up there, and they said no. Umar had electricity on at least on one of those buildings at the time. Which means that Umar, he was somehow stealing those people were speculating that he had a generator. I don't think he had a generator because we would have heard that. I think he was just stealing power from someone. That's what I think. Outside of that, no, I haven't contacted anyone in Wilmington, Delaware. I haven't contacted anyone in Philadelphia or anything like that. Again, what that one video that we're playing right now with the children inside of there, and then someone could just include the interior where Umar shows all of the filth and trash and broken glass and no electricity, no mold remediation that's taking place, no renovations. That particular buildings has been sitting vacant now on the vacant properties. They're abandoned in essence. It's just Umar uses them as storage. They've been sitting like that for over a decade. 2000, yeah, it's been a decade. Okay, because it was 4 years they sat after the Umar Academy closed in 2014. And then Umar acquires these trap banners in 2019, and then now they've sat for another 6 years. Okay, people could include that information. It'd be a wrap right there. Okay, something would happen, right? At the bare minimum, some serious fees. There could be legal litigation associated with this too. Has the school collected by law infractions since 2019? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Has a school collected? You're saying bylaw infractions since 2000? I'm not sure because I'm not sure what the bylaws would be. If that's what you're saying. It's sad because representatives there in Wilmington, they should have been on this long time ago. They should have, and just shut it down long time ago. See, the thing is that Umar, he could have he would just packed up and he would just move the scam someplace else, but it wouldn't get to the point where now we have children up in there. Umar's at first saying that he left the door open, then he said someone broke in. Which one is it? Okay, well, the point is that either way, Umar, he's not doing his duty as a property owner to make sure the property is secure, to keep it safe from vandalism, but then also to keep children safe from getting up in there and harming themselves or being harmed by others. See, I have video footage of drug addicts, prostitutes up there, unruly people up there yelling and screaming and stuff. Drug addicts nodding out on the steps. There's no telling what could happen to these children. They could have already, these types of people could have already been in the buildings, and there's no electricity. The children come in there, ain't no telling what could happen. See? Anyway, there were foundation issues with the Umar Academy. It closed down for a while to repair. I don't know if they closed now. I shouldn't say that, but they from what I understand, they did get that resolved, but who knows where things are at today. We talked about the EPA report yesterday, and what they suggested that to the city of Wilmington, they suggested that they tear the buildings down and just repurpose it and turn it into a sports facility for the Boys and Girls Club. Umar takes all that away. He's been sitting on these properties now for 6 years. That's a doggone shame. See, I mean, think of this, no contendo. Think about this. 6 years and 4 months later, and the children at this point, they could have had years and years of having a brand new sports facility where these abandoned buildings sit. But instead, because Umar acquired them back in February of 2019, they're going up in there into abandoned buildings in the dark with glass and filth all up in there. And who knows what else. It's crazy. It's crazy. Thanks, No Contender, for super chat. Okay, let me get to these other ones real quick. Black Wolf says, did that child just say, no, they go in that door and come out this door, multiple doors unlocked? Well, it could be that the door that they come out of is locked on the outside, but that's the door. It's locked from the inside. I mean, you can't get in that way. But if you're on the inside, you may be able to exit, right? But that's where Umar is standing. He's standing right there. But there's no telling. He could actually unlock it from the outside. You see what I'm saying? See, and this is the thing. When Umar says that the door was unlocked, he may be referring to the door that leads into the large gym where all of his filth is at, all of his belongings. But when he says that the door is damaged, he may be referring to the middle door, the second door that's in the middle of these abandoned buildings. You understand what I'm saying? Hit the one, and then there's another door way down on the other end. Either way, it's not a good look. Because at bare minimum, he has a door that was left unlocked, and he had a door that was damaged allegedly, and people got up in there. You know, Umar is so incompetent. Y'all know what I mean? He's just so incompetent. I mean, he can't survive in the real world. He can't get anything done with this FDMG school scam project. He's collected bare minimum $1 million. I've already proven it. $1,618,354 from 2019 to 2023. We're not counting 2024, 2025, 2014, 15, 16, 17, or 18. And what does he have to show for it? What has he actually done? He's incompetent. I mean, even for us, a Black people, to be thinking about, okay, this door, that door, I mean, it makes no sense, right? 6 years and 4 months later, and he don't even know what he's doing. He don't even know how to secure things. And it's supposed to be a principal of a school. He's supposed to be a scholar. Let's move on. Okay. Thanks, Black Wolf, for the super chat. It's nuts. Toys says, why did he store books over there? LenonHonor, are you minding my business? Umar was mad. He said, y'all mind your business. He's storing his books over there because he's been homeless since 2019. And he doesn't have anywhere else to put them. Was he going to put him in his mama's closet? No, it's too small. That place is small too. Okay, I've looked at the floor plan too, people. It's small. And with all Umar's hoarding and the like, I'm sure he has stuff because he had little African artifacts and stuff and pictures on the wall in mama closet, but he can't bring all 5,000 books, as he says. So what he had to do was he had to put, and he knew that a long time ago. He knew that ultimately, see, I'm gonna tell you, and I said this earlier this week. I think with Umar, the way his mind works is it's all about survival, and he can't survive in the real world by himself. It's not that he's trying to save money. He's just trying to keep money so that he can have the money so that he can indulge in his addictions. That's all it comes down to. Okay. So what happens is the idea and notion of Umar having his own place at this point, he's not thinking about that. Having his own apartment at the age of 50, he's not thinking about that. He's content with living inside of his mama's closet when he can't, living out in hotels and motels, or sleeping in his car. I have a video where he's in the car and he has a blanket and pillow in the back seat. What y'all think is going on? That's wild. I didn't see it at first, but someone that comment said, hey, oh, everyone's going to ignore the pillow and the blanket in the backseat. I looked, I saw, oh, shit. Yeah. So Umar he doesn't pay basic bills. He doesn't pay his child support. It's not because he's trying to save money. He's just greedy. That's what these types of dope fiend types, they're just greedy. It's all about holding on to money long enough to spend it on their next fix, and then the cycle continues. They stop worrying about having their own car. Umar, he don't have his own car. He rents cars with donors' money. He's not worried about renting a property or getting a mortgage or anything like that, because he just rents hotel rooms. He gets hotels and motel rooms with donors' money. See what I'm saying? So, inevitably, what happens is Umar, he's not going to say to himself, I'm going to get a storage facility to store all of my belongings after he got evicted in 2019. No, what Umar, in his mind, he's saying to himself, okay, I can actually hold on to this more money instead of getting a storage unit to put all my stuff in. I can just store it inside of the larger building, what he calls a larger school. And that's precisely what he did. That's what he's still doing in 2025. What kind of man? See, people need to wake up. It's glaringly obvious. I mean, is this that deep? It's not deep to me. It's not like we have to exhaust ourselves intellectually to figure out what's been going on with Umar. But his followers, I don't get it. They don't see what is right there in plain sight. But the truth is there. So yeah, that's why he stores his book. It doesn't make sense, because if you really value your books, you wouldn't have them sitting in an abandoned building with no electricity, no HVAC, exposed to the elements, in the sense that, like I said, when it gets hot, the building turns into like an oven on the inside, and then when it gets cold, it turns into a freezer. And then you're going to have these books, paper books, exposed to these types of extreme temperature changes. No, that's crazy. But see, with Umar, he doesn't think beyond survival mode, and so in his mind, you know, why would I go and rent a facility to a storage facility, maybe even one that has HVAC included, right? Heating and cooling to keep things right. No, why would I do that when I can just store them over here inside these abandoned buildings? And he knew that was the play back in 2019. I'm minding my business. Maybe not. Okay. Thanks, Tori. This is the way. Okay. What kind of man? What's up, DJ Scrap Dirty? That sounds like a DJ name for real. Right on. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks, Tori. Thanks, Black Wolf. Thanks, No Contendo. James, Sal, everybody else. Still Learning says, now we can't say no. You do have a point there, Still Learning. We can't say that no kids have been in there. Okay. In a very twisted, macabre type of way, right? Yeah. As you know, Umar, now he's gonna be up there. Yeah, we have had children in the building. We have had, because that's what Umar gonna do. Watch. We have been teaching these kids. I had about 8 kids in there last month. We were teaching them. Okay. Yeah, you have a point there. Thanks for the super chat. That was a good one. Okay. Let's get back to it. So we're going to get back to the video. Thanks everyone for all the super chats. Make sure y'all hit that like button and go ahead and get your vote in. We got 560 votes. How we doing on time? Okay, we not going to do an hour and 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but let's keep going. I'll be lying to myself. Okay, let's get back to the video. Here we go.
I need you to turn that camera off. Nothing's funny. Turn it off. And I need y'all to move.
See, whoever has that camera, if they uploaded the video where Umar keeps going in on these kids, that would be wild.
Move on. You can't hang on this block. Excuse me? I need y'all to go, or I'm going to call.
See, they were going back at him, and now he threatens to call the police on them. He's such a hypocrite. That's the school to prison pipeline. The FDMG trap vandal school to prison pipeline.
I need y'all to go, or I'm going to call the police.
Yeah. See, Umar, he actually mutes it, and then you can't hear what he's saying to the kids. And then at a certain point, I'm talking about in the video that has surfaced online, where it's actually a screen recording of his actual Instagram page. He took this video down off of his Instagram, but it's already circulating. And then it cuts to this. At a certain point, he calls the police. The police shows up, and this is what Umar does with his at 50 years old. Boy, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do a street smart bull thing.
Yeah. And I don't think it was the kids who broke in. They're not brilliant enough to do that, because somebody had to rip the wood off, Jimmy the door. I think it was the drug addicts.
Drug addicts, what? That would be you, sir. The turning of the heat down. Cut it out, Umar.
I mean, we have issues on the street.
Yes, sir.
More towards the
Understood. Understood.
So
yes, sir. See that?
In like a minute that I've ever
Okay.
out here.
Yeah, we've been. We ain't had no issues. We haven't had any issues since 2021. I want to say, and then all of a sudden I leave for 30 days and I'm back, and the children have found out it was open because they've been running around in there. So I don't know when it had to happen within the last 30 days.
Gotcha.
You know,
What's
because
your phone number,
302.
Okay. What is this right here? Let me see. I want to see what this is. So I'll be finding stuff as I'm looking for other videos. Is this what I'm looking for? Yeah, I might pull this back up, just the end part. Okay, so that was the second video, Umar being outside. And then we're going to play the third one. Here we go. There's no telling, because the damage that was done long. It could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 4 years. That stuff has been sitting for a very long time. There's no telling. I mean, it could be someone that had issues with Umar. You know, someone that Umar owed money to. Who knows?
Peace and Pan Africanism, brothers and sisters. I'm back again. While I was on the live, the children had snuck into the school, which means they knew the door was unlocked. Listen to me, brothers and sisters.
Okay, but I thought you said that the door was broken into, not unlocked, Umar. You see this? Hit the one.
For children to know that a door is opened, and I was only away from the school for 30 days.
What do you mean only for 30 days? That's a significant period of time. I just had done a video, I think it was earlier this week, talking about, you know, Umar's everywhere except up at these abandoned buildings. And the poll question was how many days out of the year is Umar up here doing work? Very rarely.
For children to know that the door was open.
He said,
and I was only away from the school for 30 days.
And Willis and Joshua.
For children to know the door was open.
Yeah, he was traveling. That's what he do. He's a vagabond. He just travels. 30 days is long enough for it. You right about that. 30 days, that's more than enough time for all kind of stuff to happen. How's it going, Anita? They've been here. Yeah, he said only 30 days. Shout out to Swaggle Nito. only a whole month. And he probably done left already. He probably someplace else now. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth to you. What's up, Black Anonymous? Thanks for tuning on in. Appreciate you. And Tabby T. Okay, let's go.
And I was only away from the school for 30 days. I wonder when they broke in. I wonder when they broke in, because if the children already know the door was open, we're not blaming the children. We're not blaming the children. We're saying that it had to be general knowledge that the school was broken into.
What are you talking? No, it doesn't, Umar. Child goes up to the door. Now you're saying it was broken into. First you were saying that it was open. Whatever.
Because how would the children know to go in there?
This guy's 50? Man.
How would the children know to go in there? The door was closed. The doors are closed. How did the children know? Young blood. Quick question, young fellas. Quick question. How long? Okay. So
yeah, I'll blur this out.
So I'm Dr. Umar, right? Say Dr. Umar. That's me. Okay. I was gone for 30 days, right? 30. My question to y'all, how long had that door been open for y'all to go in and play? Would you say a week, a couple days, a couple weeks? Because I was only going.
For like 2-3 months.
Nah,
He said 2 or 3 months. Months.
not 2-3 months, sweetie, because I was here a month ago and I checked the door.
Why are you calling other people kids sweeties and it's a male? You don't even know them. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Doors all the time. It wasn't. They weren't open a month.
It was like 2-3 weeks ago.
2 or 3.
Now he says 2 or 3 weeks. Barry says, wait, did he say that the kids weren't brilliant enough to breaking in those bando bunkers? Yeah. Yeah. I was going to comment on that too. You're right. He did. He said they're not, it can't be the kids because they're not. In other words, they're dumb. They're too stupid to break in. Boy, I tell you, Umar, he's something else. Matter of fact, Barry, let me rewind because I was meant to comment on. Let me rewind it. This goes to show you how he sees black children. But I have so many clips of Umar in my notes going back to 2010, 2009, 2010, 2011, where he's disparaging black children like this. Hold on one second. Let me see. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong. I'm on the wrong one. Wait, no, I'm not. Hold on one second. This is at the end of this. No. This is the one right here.
And cuckoo you Africans and all. Okay, so they might have broke in, open, and I.
Wait, oh no, I think I took it down. Hold on one second. Yeah, this is the wrong one. Yeah, give me 1 second, everybody. Yeah, this should be the second. Yeah, I believe it's the second video, or where he's outside. So number 4. I think it would be this.
Peace and Pan Africanism, brothers and sisters. I'm back.
Yeah, it should be this one. Let me skip through because it's at the end. Because he's sitting down talking to the police officer. Here we go, right here.
So I'm just gonna do a street smart bull thing.
Yeah.
Get special effects.
And I don't think it was the kids who broke in. They're not brilliant enough to do that because somebody had.
Damn. That's bad. I said it in the first documentary. Umar's general disposition towards black people is very negative in the first place. Very condescending. He has a superiority complex. He thinks he's better than everybody else, and he disparages children a lot. I've heard him say things like, "No, you don't have ADHD. You don't have a learning disability. You have a lazy disability because you're lazy." In the way he says it. See, I think that's how his daddy used to talk to him. Maybe his mama too. I don't know because that's beyond the scope for me because he's a lady, a woman. But his daddy, that's how I think, just very demeaning and demoralizing. Well, Umar talks about black children like that all the time, and yet he's supposed to be opening up a school for black kids. Yeah, you're right, Barry. That's what he said. Basically the kids are dumb. They're not smart enough to break into some doors. It's crazy, but that's Umar. That's y'all's principle. I always got to say that. Got to make that distinction. Thank you, Barry, for super chat. CJ says, as well-traveled as Umar is, I'm astounded at how uninformed, unread, and uncouth his diction, worldviews, and mannerisms are. Yeah. I think that Umar's mentals have deteriorated significantly over time. I think his emotional stability has become more erratic. I think that his grandiosity has reached astronomical levels to where he thinks that he's well-read. He thinks that he's so knowledgeable about things, but he can't even survive in the real world with doing basic things like having his own car. See, he rents cars with donors' money or having his own place. He puts all of his belongings when he gets evicted in 2019. He puts that inside of the abandoned buildings, and he's been on the road living in and out of motel rooms with donors' money. Sometimes living in or sleeping in his vehicle. Well, that's not his vehicle. It's a rental car with donors' money. Living in his mama's closet. Yeah, by the way, the diction and when Umar speaks, because we can talk different ways, especially black people, we have had to learn to adapt to certain scenarios and situations, especially in society. Because there's times where I can articulate, but I prefer just to talk how I'm regular talking, whatever. I don't really that way. But with Umar, I don't think that Umar, because of the mental deterioration, I don't think that he has that level of command over his mind that way. That's why he'll start talking and he'll just repeat things over and over and over again. He'll start a live stream and he starts repeating things, and he goes right into roll call where he's saying, well, to my Ypsilanti, he always says Ypsilanti. I'm so tired of Ypsilanti, hearing Ypsilanti over and over again. Ypsilanti Africans, my Detroit Africans, my New York Africans, my Floridian Africans, my Madagascarian Africans, and then he keeps going. Well, that's all up here. So he doesn't have the command or control over his mind like he used to. It's just deteriorated over time. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. CJ, if you go back and look at Umar back in the day, I can give you guys an example. Back in the day, extreme differences between how he was then and how he is now. We can go to 2005, 2006 ish, in and around there. Matter of fact, if you hold on one second. Yeah, here it is right here. So this is just one example.
Abdullah Johnson, and I'm a member of the organization founded by the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the Universal Negro Improvement Association. I belong to the Philadelphia division. By trade, I'm a school psychologist. And in the city of Philadelphia, I'm the youngest of only 4 black male school psychologists, although Philadelphia is the 5th largest school district in the city, in America.
See, he doesn't look all smoked out. He's not yelling and screaming. He's not spitting all over the place. He's not repeating things over and over again. He looks as if he has himself together. He's dressed nice. Okay, he was still a scammer back then. Don't get it twisted. But things have changed over time. Okay, this is about 20 years ago.
I'm sorry. I actually happen to be a relative of that man hanging on the wall, Frederick Douglass, whose real name was.
You lying about that back then too, but he didn't know that it was a lie back then. His daddy Jamal lied to him about that, or Jamal didn't know and passed that misinformation down. Anyway,
it's Frederick Bailey, but he changed it to Douglass when he escaped to slavery, which is my family's name. He's actually a blood cousin. But I just want to give you
no, they're not. They're not. They already took a DNA test.
Some information that I hope can help you as you help children and families and parents in your communities and in your neighborhoods. School psychology, exactly what is that? The reason.
Y'all see the difference? It's remarkable, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. It's a deterioration over time. It's an extreme deterioration, and there's different reasons for it. One is mental health. He struggled, and everyone, we all have something, but he struggled with some serious mental health issues, and he has been for most of his life. I would propose that and speculate that it's from his childhood. Okay, but the other thing is the substance abuse does not help. And then the lifestyle, living in and out of motel rooms, traveling, not really feeling as if you have a foundation or something to come home to, a place to come home to. All of that wears on you, and Umar, without the life skills to manage all of that. And then, of course, the attention, he's always attention seeking. I think he's always been like that. But after Hidden Colors, he blows up. And over time, especially Hidden Colors 2, he really starts to pick up steam. And then by 2014, 2015, a lot of people know about Umar, and it just all goes to his head. And then the narcissism, which I believe was there then, but it gets more and more out of control. Because if you listen carefully, what he says at the beginning of this is, I'm one of the youngest, and I'm the youngest, and such and such. Okay, that's the narcissism. He was not well established as a school psychologist at this time. He had a very limited career as a school psychologist. He was causing problems too in the Philadelphia school district for many years. Well, that's Umar. But he has to say that, I'm the youngest of such and such and such, because it's all about self-aggrandizement. Well, that's part of the narcissism. Anyway, CJ, I just want to just give this example. I'll give other examples too. What you'll find is that if this is the oldest video that I've been able to find of Umar, recorded video of Umar. And you'll find that as you track Umar over time, year by year, you'll see this deterioration that takes place until you get to 2025, and he's basically a Pookie now. See this? Yeah. Thanks, CJ, for super chat. It's sad. It's sad. And I commented on this inside the first documentary. It's a cautionary tale. It is. Okay, let's keep going here. Thanks, everyone, for tuning on in, too. I appreciate it. Here we go.
While I was on the live, the children
had snuck into the school, which means they knew the door was unlocked. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. For children to know that a door is opened, and I was only away from the school for 30 days. For children to know that the door was open, and I was only away from the school for 30 days. For children to
see that the repeating, it's a mental health issue. It's what they just slipped my mind. What do they call that? It's compulsive. It's a compulsive disorder at this point. Listen, I like to have everything right where it needs to be. You know, like even when I'm sitting here, like really my glasses, I really should have them on, to be honest with you, but they should be folded and they should be right there. And this document needs to be right here. This cable really should be right here. And I need to plug it up and then plug it into my phone right here. This box of batteries, I normally have this box of batteries. I get them off of Amazon for these live streams. Thank y'all that the stupid chats and everything. Batteries are expensive, I should say. This needs to go right there. I got my pen and my piece of paper right here. I got my drink right here. I got my cell phone right here. Mouse, boom. Keyboard, boom. Everything needs to be where it needs. Otherwise, I can't function. It's compulsive. It's just if someone came in there and moved stuff over, okay, that got to go right back there. That's how I am. I'm a weirdo. Okay, we all have something. But with Umar, one of the issues with Umar is that once he starts talking, he can't stop. He can't help himself. He repeats things at least 3 times. Why 3? It's compulsive. He can't even see. He's not thinking about it. It's just he gets into that mode. Just like when he does roll call, that's compulsive. He just starts and he just keeps going. You know, all of my Africans in Zimbabwe, all my Africans in Europe, all my Africans in Yorkshire, and all my Africans in Frodo Baggins' You know, and he just keeps going. Well, that's part of the mental, and his mental health it's deteriorated over time. Again, there's a video where Umar, and it's just one example where he's out in the snow and he looks over and he gets there. Did you all see that? There's a new footprint in the snow. So he's seeing things that aren't there, or he's not seeing that it was there. And then when he sees it, all of a sudden, you know, and then he starts telling the story. And I heard it. I heard the footprint. I just didn't see it. Okay, he's hearing things and he's seeing things. There's a term for that, and it's called schizophrenia. Delusion. There's also paranoid schizophrenia, and that's Umar. He's very paranoid. Y'all remember we used to watch those? He don't be going, because we used to clown him about it a lot. He don't be going in cemeteries like he used to, because he would be up in there live streaming in the cemetery. That's a mental health issue. Who does that? You got daughters out here, at least 2 of them, and another child. I don't know the sex of the third child, but you spend more time in cemeteries than you do with your own kids. That's a mental health issue. That's weirdo. That's not normal behavior. And he just be in cemeteries and be pouring libations and talking all loud and yelling and leaning up on top, you know, on the grave things and all this stuff. Who does that? So we used to clown him, so he stopped doing it. But that's compulsive. I mean, that's like you just driving along. You say, oh, let me find me a cemetery. What are you talking about? And there were times back there, because we thought something else was going on, like someone was chasing him or something. And he'd be in the cemetery, and you can tell he gets scared. It's the paranoia. And in my opinion, he was probably hearing stuff, and then he starts looking around like this, and then he starts pacing, trying to get back to his car. Y'all remember that? He has some serious issues, you know. And it's amazing that his followers they don't see this, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, I'm not disparaging Umar for his mental health issues. Like I said, we all have issues. We all do. Okay, I'm saying myself included. What I'm saying is that in the bigger scheme of things, Umar's mental health status it's a problem. That's why when he flips his phone, you see him living in filth like a hoarder. That's a mental health issue. Him holding on to that big back TV, that's compulsive. It has no function, but it's compulsive. See? All right. Again, you guys can track Umar back in the day, and you see over time. I just think it's just deteriorated more and more and more. Either he has not been diagnosed, and therefore has not received any treatment, or he was diagnosed earlier on in life, but he's gone untreated. And yet he claims to be this great school psychologist. He claims to be a therapist. He's never been a therapist. A school psychologist is not a therapist. See, Umar, he's the one that needs the help. Umar, the idea of the school, that's him reliving his childhood trauma, being shipped away to a boarding school, away from his family. That's what he wants to do with these kids. He wants them in his care, away from their family, because you guys are part of the problem. That's what he said. And he wanted it to be a what? A boarding school. And it was military, right? Well, he said he's going to turn these boys into what? Black Rambos. That's military. He's going to teach them how to float ships and fly airplanes and helicopters. That's military. Y'all beginning to see this? See, that's all up here with this guy. That's the head movement, but it's delusional. That's Umar trapped in the suffering of his childhood. And I get it. I get it. But you got to do the work to get beyond that so that you can be functional, Umar. So you can be functional as a man, functional as a father. You see what I'm saying? And then maybe functional as a leader. I mean, you can't even keep building secure. You have your, I don't mean to say it like this, but you're 50 and you've been homeless since 2019, and you've taken millions of dollars from Black people and you've turned these abandoned buildings into your own personal storage facility. That's here. And no shame about it. That's here. Let's go. But the point is, CJ, in a roundabout way, that's why, you know, where Umar is today, yeah, uninformed, unread, but it's a mental health issue. Uncouth, his diction, his worldviews are all over the place. See, mannerisms. You know, he'll sniff because he has that post-nasal drip, and he don't even spit it out. He don't even bother to spit it. He just swallow it. He's so used to it. That's up here. When he flipped the phone and there's filth all over the place, that's up here. He's used to living like that. Decades. Okay, I can go on and on and on. See, even the snow bunny stuff he be talking about, that's compulsive. He can't stop talking about cookies, compulsive. That's one of his addictions is sex, sexually exploiting these Black women. Well, the same thing with the snow bunny. See, it's his way of dealing with the inner conflict that he has, because he's supposed to be pro-Black and about Black family, but he don't even take care of his own kids. He's not been married. I never heard of him say, I don't mean to go off, but I ain't never heard Umar tell one story about being in a long-standing relationship with a woman, let alone a Black woman, and he's 50 years old. And yes, him talking snow bunny this, snow bunny that, you know what the real issue is? He wants one. But he's so conflicted. He wants a white woman. And I'm going to tell y'all, he want one of them big ones. And that's fine. Go get you one of them big ones. And say, I don't listen. If that's what it's going to take for you to be at ease, Umar, go and get you one of them big white women that'll make you butter biscuits and hot Cheeto fries and whatever. You know what I'm saying? They'll make you a cheesecake too if you want, you know. Black woman ain't trying to make no cheesecake. They said, oh, what? Anyway, I'll just play it. But I'm I'm trying to lighten it up because this is serious. Umar, he's so conflicted, but that's what he wants. He wants a white woman, and that's okay. All right. Thank you, CJ. I didn't mean to go off. Okay. The Geek Surgeon says he's a descendant of Grand BS. He's a descendant of Hot Pocket and Sugar. Hot Pocket and Sugar. That's a new one. Yeah. Real quick. Umar's not related to Frederick Douglass. There's no blood relationship. There's no DNA relationship. It's already been proven scientifically through DNA tests. Okay, I already have the receipt where his dad admits it. But after he admits it, just like Umar, he's a liar too. Okay, he's off of social media now. After everything happened with his granddaughter, Umar's daughter, spilling the beans about Umar, but also speaking to the family dysfunction on that side. And Jamal tried to get her to shut up. He didn't want her talking about it, but she kept talking, and he ends up going off of the internet. Okay. I'm not going to say like father, like son, but there are some similarities. Okay. And I can see that very clearly just by studying Umar for all these years, and then having enough information about Jamal, doing enough information or doing enough research on Jamal to be able to see the parallels. The point being is that there is no relationship. There's no blood relationship. There's no DNA relationship, genetic relationship whatsoever. But Umar, to this day, and he knows that. Umar knows that. To this day, Umar still runs with that lie. Remember, Umar also said that he was a descendant of Pharaoh Ramses. He said that he was a descendant of Underground Railroad. I was going to say Mahalia Jackson. Underground Railroad. I was going to say Eartha Kitt. Boy, you always do this. I just see it in my mind right now. I apologize. He also said that he was a descendant of Booker T. Washington. Harriet Tubman. I'm sorry. He said he was a descendant of Harriet Tubman too. He said they might be related. Some say that they was cousins. So I may be something, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. No, it's up here. That's another one of mental health and things. See, when his daddy lied to him about that, it went to his head. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Umar was the type of child that had very, very extremely low levels of self-esteem, and part of it was his daddy. His daddy was overbearing. He was also gone a lot, but then when he showed up, all of a sudden he just bullied the shit out of Umar. So Umar, he struggled, and to this day, he has very low levels of self-esteem. That's why he self-aggrandized. I'm the most requested scholar. I'm King Kong conscious. This is all childhood stuff. He hasn't resolved this. He hasn't done the work on this. Okay, so when his daddy tells him that he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass, that goes to, and I have a video where Umar, he admits that, where he explains how it impacted him and how he saw himself. And so all these years later, it's a central aspect of his self-esteem and self-concept, but all of it is a lie. But see, it's so close to Umar and the core personality, which is the little Jermaine, that little child, the little boy, low levels of self-esteem, very fragile, very weak, a mama's boy. It's so ingrained in that little child that Umar can't let it go as an adult, because if you strip that away, then what does little Jermaine have left? Okay, it's sad. It's actually it's quite sad. But that's why parents, we shouldn't lie to our children. Okay, and it can be debated. Did Jamal make that up himself and lie? It's possible, because he is a liar. Was he told that he was a descendant by people in his family, and he believed that it was true, and then told Umar? That's possible too. I do know that Jamal is a liar. We've proven that. Whatever the case may be, when the truth is found, the truth is the truth, and there's no going back from that. But Jamal went back from it, and and Umar knows the truth, but he still holds on to it and lies about it to this day. Why? Because little Jermaine, it's such a central theme. It's like a comforting blanket that makes little Jermaine feel as if he has some importance in the world. But see, that's what Jamal should have instilled in Umar, little Jermaine, when little Jermaine was a child. But he wasn't around to do that. See? It's sad. The whole situation is sad. The saga is sad. It's a cautionary tale. There's a lot that we can learn, even as men, on how not to be, as fathers, how not to be, and how to aspire and do better over time. We can't say that with Umar. Again, I played the video from 2006, and we can play a video from anywhere from 2014 to 2025, and you just see a major difference all the way across the board. Now he's up here just look like a Pookie. Real talk. Thanks, Geek Surgeon, for super chat. No Contendo says unsecured construction site. City council needs to know. Yes. The city of Wilmington, they know what's going on up there, because they've written all types of what do they call that? It's like I don't know if it's license and inspections, but they come through, and there's certain things that have to be in place. The buildings do need to be secure. If there's trash all over the place, that's one of the reasons why Umar goes up there and cleans up from time to time, because he can be written a ticket for that, right? And for other things too, if things aren't secure like they're supposed to be, he can be written tickets for that. So this ought to say that the city knows about that Umar, that he's out there. But see that there's so many other abandoned buildings. It's just like, okay, well, what's the big deal? You know, and they can't monitor everything. But when it comes to children being inside these abandoned buildings, with the conditions that these abandoned buildings are in 2025, Umar could actually go to jail for that. See, God forbid if over the next month, 2 months, or 3 months, you know, children, it gets Umar leaves the door open again, or it gets broken into again, and children go up in there, and then something horrible happens to one of the children. Then what, Umar? You gonna blame me? You gonna blame the Cookie Crush chat? See, if you guys really think about it, we're gonna get going. I told myself, if you guys really think about it, I know we clown Umar, and it's deserved. We criticize Umar. Most of it's constructive. Sometimes we go far, we take a little bit too far, but most of it's constructive criticism. But if we really think about it, it's really, at least for me, I'm trying to help Umar do the right thing. Is he a scammer? Yes. Is he a deadbeat? Yes. Does he be sexually exploiting these black women? Yes. Does he like butter biscuits? Yeah, he likes butter biscuits. Did he want him a white woman? I believe he does. But at the end of the day, I want him to do better. And there are things that Umar has done in response to us calling him out. And this particular issue right here, Umar, you need to be very careful, because God forbid something happened to one. I know you don't care. You don't care because you don't care about nobody. You don't care about your own kids. Why would you care about these little random kids up here, baby kids, as somebody said yesterday? Why would you care about them? See? But God forbid something happens to him to any of them because of your negligence. And then what you gonna do, Umar? You gonna blame me? You gonna blame the Cookie Crush chat? No, do the right thing. What you need to do is stop scamming. That's what you need to do, and let the school scam go. Okay, but you need the money. It's your main source, and at some times it's your only source of money coming through, so that you can continue to live out your self-destructive lifestyle with all these different addiction issues that you have. But the point is that if you're unwilling to do that, at the very least, get these properties secured, not just to protect the properties from vandals, alleged vandals, but also to keep children from getting in so that nothing bad happens. And if you cared about them, you would do that. You should have done that back in February 2019. You didn't do it then. Here we are 60 years and 4 months later. You still ain't done it. I don't think you're going to do it. Anyway, thanks, No Kendra, because Umar don't care. That's the truth. At the end of the day, he don't care. Do better, bro. Thanks, No Contender, for a super chat. Patrick says the kids he underestimates are more than capable of showing him what a real thug is and what he pretends to be. You're right about that. Those kids, you can tell. You can tell. And see, Umar doesn't have the disposition. See, Umar doesn't even recognize that because he don't know how to deal with children. He can't. He doesn't. I want people to think about this. He wants to open up a school. He wants to be a school principal. He wants to be the school principal. He also wants to teach classes too. I have yet to find any record of Umar being a principal or vice principal. I think he was a principal. Yeah, at the very least, I believe he was a vice principal. I don't know that as a fact. That's why I'm saying I believe, and I say I think, because I have yet to find one receipt that would prove that to be the case, that he was a vice principal or principal. Was he a school psychologist? Yes. Therapist? No. Okay. Principal, vice principal, no record that I've been able to find. If anyone has it, email me, LenonHonor@yahoo.com. The point is that Umar, he has not operated and dealt with children enough and in a sensible way to where he would even put himself in a position to be a school principal, to be a school a vice principal, or to be a teacher. And here's the point. Umar has never taught children. He's never been certified to teach children. He's never had any training to be a teacher. He's never been a teacher. And yet he wants to be the school principal, the teacher, the school psychologist. He want to make the butter biscuits. Can you imagine Umar making the kids lunch? Let me stop. He said, we having butter biscuits today. I said, we having butter. I said, we having butter biscuits today, kids. Anyway, he doesn't have that experience of dealing with children. He hasn't raised any children. He hasn't taught any children. It's crazy. The whole scenario is crazy. So on top of all of this, when he's dealing with these children out here in front of these abandoned buildings, and some were inside the abandoned buildings, he doesn't have the temperament. He doesn't have the knowledge base. He doesn't have the training to even talk to the children appropriately. Why would you call a little boy and you don't even know who the little boy is? He don't know who you are. Why would you call him sweetie? Them kids don't want to hear that. That's hood. Y'all don't think that that's weird? I don't even call my own son sweetie. I call him buddy most of the time. Hey, buddy, because that's my uncle. He say, hey, buddy, hey, buddy. So I say, hey, buddy, how you doing today, buddy? But my daughters is sweetie. Hey, sweetie pie. Hey, baby. But I'm not gonna say that to somebody else's kid that I don't know and they don't know me, and it's a little boy. That's not gonna happen. That's weirdo. See, the point is, all the way across the board, Umar's he doesn't have the disposition. He's not even qualified to be teaching children. And that's why I told people a long time ago, he ain't got no business being around children in the first place. All the sexualized comments that he's made about little girls and their body parts, and little boys too, for that matter. Just real weird, just weird stuff. Anyway, the kids, these kids, you can tell they're out there in them streets like that. And I'm not saying they're out there doing all kind of crazy stuff, but they know what time it is because it's hood up over there, and they see Umar totally different than what he pretends to be. He's like a little troll or a Grinch that's under the bridge, and they trying to cross the bridge, and he come out there, you know, hey, what you doing? Get off my bridge. That's how they see Umar. All right. He do look like one of them little Grinches. Okay, thanks, Patrick. I'm playing. I shouldn't do that. Thanks, Patrick, for a super chat. Then Marcus says, Umar's deterioration is like driving by a car accident. It's a terrible sight, but you can't look away. Yeah, I agree. There are aspects, because it's fascinating, because you have someone who claims to be a school psychologist and claims to have 6 degrees. I mean, he's mental. He really is. He claims to have 6 degrees, the most requested scholar, King Kong consciousness. He claims to be a school psychologist in 2025. He hasn't worked as a school psychologist since 2010, 2011. I mean, he's just out there. See, it's baffling, because I think, and I don't know this for sure, but I think Umar believes some of the stuff that he says, even about himself, that he's the most requested scholar. He believes that. Is it true? No. He's not even a scholar. How are you going to be the most requested scholar if you're not even a scholar in the first place? But I think he believes these things. But it speaks to his mental state. He lives in an alternate universe. He's a delusional person. It's fascinating. See, it'd be different if it was like somebody simply off of the street that was online acting like this. You guys understand what I mean? Like if it was let's just say it was a Pookie that was all. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, Umar Pookie too, but let's say there was just a regular old Pookie. The Pookie didn't have 6 degrees. Oh man, this is weird. The Pookie isn't the most requested scholar. The Pookie is not the Prince of Pan Africanism. The Pookie is not a school principal. The Pookie is not a vice principal. The Pookie is not a therapist. The Pookie is not a conflict resolution expert, as Umar has claimed to be, and all the other stuff he says that he is. And then he was out here acting like this. We were like, okay, he's a Pookie, right? It's a Pookie behavior. But what's fascinating is you have someone who claims to have 6 degrees and did in fact have a career as out of all things, a school psychologist. There's nothing like it. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I've been on the internet for a long time. A very long time. I've never seen anything like this. And he just keeps going and going and going. And some of this stuff, Marcus, Umar believes it. He actually believes it up here. And he just keeps going. He keeps going and keep going. And you know, the crazy part, well, it's not even the crazy part, but one of the more concerning parts is that you have people all over the world that believe him. There's a term for that too, where people it's a shared delusion. One person, they see something, it's not even there, but they keep talking about it, and other people, the other person, they don't see it at first, but then because of that one person has this delusion, it keeps talking about it, and they influence the other person, all of a sudden the other person starts seeing stuff that ain't there too. Some fascinating, it's hard to look away. It is. Thanks, Marcus, for super chat. James also said, if Umar's dad was a drill instructor in the U.S. Marine Corps, be advised, my friend, it has had a major impact on his psyche. I was a Marine for 4 years, my friend, and trust me, it sticks with you for life. Yeah. Yeah. And again, Umar did live with his father on base. I think it was in North Carolina for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. It could be 3. But I'm going to go with 2.5 years because the stories that Umar tells, it kind of conflict with each other, but which is to be expected because it was such a long time ago. But he did live on a military base after his Jamal, his father and his mama married. And from what I understand now, Jamal changed Umar's name prior to Umar coming down there. That's because Umar tells the story differently and different, but that's what I heard him say more recently. But the point is that if we go on, and I can pull it up and show you guys can look at the video. He's taking it all down. He's off of social media now. But Jamal, the videos where he was going back and forth at Umar, he was talking about. There's several times where he says, you know, I've always been opinionated, and I'm going to speak my mind, and blah blah blah. And I'm gonna say it like it. I don't, care. Basically, I don't care. One time he said that Umar was dead to him. That type of talk. That you have to have a certain mentality to even speak like that about your son, let alone do that online, And in my opinion, Jamal was a bully. He was a drilling instructor, and there's a way that they talk to people new recruits who come on board. It's part of the training too, but in my opinion, that was ingrained in Jamal to where that began to express itself onto Umar and them other kids too. Remember. Jamal went off to the military and he started as a mechanic, basically a car mechanic, which is incredible because Umar, he admits that he doesn't know how to use his hands. Whereas a car mechanic, that you know how to use your hands. But it goes to show that Jamal wasn't there to teach him these things. But Jamal went off and started, he went to Paris Island in South Carolina in 1975. He was there from 1975 to 1976. Umar was born in 1974. So if Jamal was actually around when Umar was born, and again, he was a Rolling Stone, okay, but if he was around when Umar was born, he was only there for about a year. And then from the time that Umar is born until, let's say 1 year old, all the way until he's 11 or 12, Jamal Johnson is just deployed in different places outside of Philadelphia. And then when he comes back onto the scene, let's see, he retires in 1985. And then that's when he tells Umar, when Umar is in the 6th grade. Yeah, that's what it says, 6th grade. He was either 11 or 12 years old. He tells Umar that he's related to Frederick Douglass. Why didn't he tell Umar that he was related to Frederick Douglass when Umar was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Well, because he wasn't there. See? But again, all of the years of Jamal being in the military and of all places as a Marine, it influenced how he treated other people, including Umar. And I can see it because Umar, he's like I said, he's marshmallow. He's a softie. If you bully your children over time, it could either make them rough around the edges, or you can just totally devastate them. And then they become like a mama's boy. That's what Umar is. And he's always running behind his mama's skirt. Whenever things get bad, he always ends back up at his mama's closet. Trust me, he'll be back there soon. See? So what ends up happening is that when he's 11, he's told that he's related to Frederick Douglass. He already had low levels of self-esteem, but that feeds Umar's ego and his sense of self-importance. And then it just blows out of proportion over time, over the next decade or so, next 2 decades. But then what happens is that Umar in the 12th grade, he goes to Beaver Junior High School. Excuse me, when he's 12, he goes to Beaver Junior High School for the 7th grade in 1986. And then Jamal's not around. Jamal's starting another family at that time. Because Jamal and Barbara, Umar's mother, they divorced after about 2 years. I have it in and around 1983. And then in 1983, and that's after them being down in, I believe it's in North Carolina, if memory serves me correctly. Barbara and Umar and the rest of the kids, they live with Jamal on base, but then they divorce and then they're shipped back off to Philadelphia. So he wasn't in their life consistently for a significant period of time. And then what happens is He ends up marrying another woman, rest in peace. He has 3 other children with her. And then even though he's not consistently present in Umar's life, by the time Umar is 13 in 1987 in the 8th grade, Jamal ships him away to the Scotland School for Veterans Children, which is an ROTC. It's a military academy in essence, and it's a boarding school. That's FDMG. See all this? It's baffling that Jamal wasn't even in Umar's life, and he had already started a whole other family living. He was in Florida too for a while. Umar was always in Philadelphia. Barbara was always in Philadelphia. I'm assuming the rest of the kids were too. And yet he comes in and he makes the decision to ship Umar away. Yeah. So again, I'm not blaming Jamal for where Umar is at today, because Umar's 50 and Umar has had more than enough time to get things straightened out in his mind. And with all of the shenanigans that we see with Umar and him claiming to be a school psychologist and the greatest psychologist, black psychologist, and all this other stuff that he says, 6 degrees, so forth and so on, there's really no excuse. I mean, if you collect $1,618,354 over the course of since 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, over the course of about 5 years, but you've been collecting money now for over 11, you should have had plenty of opportunity, including the financial means, to get whatever psychological service you need in order to get yourself back on track. But Umar hasn't done that because he believes that he's a black Christ. It's all up here. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, James. And thanks for sharing that too, because it opens up a whole other thing that I haven't really talked about. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. And then No Continuo says the death strike would be you having a live stream with a black psychologist, HBCU, analyzing Umar's childhood and current state based on your research. Yeah, that would be fascinating. It really would be. However, professionals, they wouldn't do that, though. They wouldn't diagnose someone over the internet like that. I mean, not in depth. They could make a comment here or there, but they're very careful about that. In point of fact, it's not. You shouldn't. If you're a psychologist to any degree, you could be in a situation where someone can ask you, well, can you speculate? What do you think? That kind of thing. But outright doing an analysis on a person, you're not supposed to do that. They have boards of ethics, and that's one of the things that they have ethics associated with psychological boards. That's one of the things with Umar. He's done that many times. I remember he was talking about Kanye. I know we got all off track, but that's okay. He was talking about Kanye, and he was going on and on and on and analyzing Kanye. Well, he's not a therapist or a psychologist in that sense to provide therapy like that. He's a school psychologist. And there's nothing wrong with being a school psychologist. It's specialized, but you don't do therapy. So you don't do these psychological analysis on people like Kanye West. That's not how that works. But Umar's done that. He's done that in the past, but it goes to show you a lack of ethics. And he's not the only one. There's other people that have done that too. You see, it would be fascinating though. Let's say if someone decided who is in that field, if they decided to do research into Umar, and let's say they wrote a book and then they drew parallels to like narcissistic personality traits, that type of thing. I think that would be very fascinating, because that is so blatant in Umar for sure. It's very blatant. There's no way around it. I mean, laymen, myself included, it don't take much thinking to figure that out. All you got to do is do enough research. I've looked in a lot into Dr. Ramani, do some research on narcissistic personality traits. You realize very quickly with Umar, that's exactly what we see. See, and it's all the way across the board. You can go back to 2006 and you can see it. You can see the seedlings of it. But then by the time you get to 2011, 2012, it's all out of control. And now it's way out of control. Yeah, but that would be very fascinating. Yeah. Okay, thanks. No, continue. And thanks everyone else too. I mean, I said hour 20 minutes, we're hour 50 already. Let's get back. Where were we? Let's get back to the video here. I think we were watching. Let me get this one off of here. And what is this? I think it's this one. Hold on.
Rip the wood off, Jimmy the door.
This is how we got onto this, because Barry had mentioned Umar saying basically disrespecting the kids. Yeah, here we go.
Street smart bowl thing.
Yeah. And I don't think it was the kids who broke in. They're not brilliant enough to do that, because somebody had to rip the wood off, Jimmy the door. I think it was the drug addicts.
We have issues on the street.
Yes, sir.
More towards the 900
Understood.
So this is like the first time, in like a minute that I've ever
Okay.
cold out here.
Yeah, we've been we ain't had no issues. We haven't had any issues since 2021.
Yeah, he lying. He lying. All right, so that ends right there. Let's get back to the main video that we were covering for today, and that's this one right here. Here we go. And thank you all so much too for your patience. Here we go.
The door was open, and I was only away from the school
for 6 months.
30 days. I wonder when they broke in. I wonder when they broke in, because if the children already know the door was open, we're not blaming the children. We're not blaming the children. We're saying that it had to be general knowledge that the school was broken into, because how would the children know to go in there? How would the children know to go in there? The door was closed. The doors are closed. How did the children know? Young blood, quick question, young fellas, quick question. How long, okay, so I'm Dr. Umar, right? Say Dr. Umar. That's me, okay? I was gone for 30 days, right? 30,
See, he's been there for 6 years and 4 months, and these children in this neighborhood don't even know who he is. That's telling you in of itself.
Question to y'all, how long had that door been open for y'all to go in and play? Would you say a week, a couple days, a couple weeks? Because I was only going
For like 2-3 months.
No, not 2-3 months, sweetie, because I was here a month ago and I checked the doors all the time. It wasn't, they weren't open a month.
It was like 2-3 weeks ago.
2 or 3, okay, so they might have broke in okay, that makes sense, 2-3 weeks, because I was going for 4. Say that again.
It was other kids too, they live over there. We saw big kids do this to the door and then boom.
Yeah, but they didn't break it open though. They wasn't
Umar, you don't know that.
the ones who broke it open, because whoever broke it open, they had to use equipment.
Umar, you don't know that either.
Okay, I appreciate you young people. Y'all take care now. All right.
They looking for the kids?
No, we ain't looking for the kids. We looking for the grown people who broke in. She said 3 weeks ago. She said 3 weeks ago.
What?
She said, Princess said 3 weeks ago. So they broke.
That's not what they said at first.
Broke in while I was on my way to England. They might have broke in when I was at UCLA. They might have.
Yeah, that's right. Ruben Rivera, he get an 8-year-old to co-sign on this story.
Broke in when I was at UCLA. Somebody said the police broke in. I'm not putting it past nobody, but I'm going to.
It really is information, and you've been around a long time. It sometimes I feel like, okay, this is it, but then something happens. There's always something, and here we are. This is. Then I'll say to myself, this is a rock bottom, and then here we are, over and over again. Shout out to Information Man. Yeah, that's the kids said 2 to 3 months. That's what they said. All right, let's go, because we gotta start winding this down at some point. Here we go.
She said 3 weeks ago. She said 3 weeks ago. She said Princess said 3 weeks ago. So they broke in while I was on my way to England.
See, he's high right now. That's why he just seems like he's out of it. He's high.
They might have broke in when I was at UCLA. They might have broke in when I was at UCLA. Somebody said the police broke in. I'm not putting it past nobody, but I'm going to look.
The police was just there. This is crazy. He talked to the police.
At the cameras. It is on camera. I just have to take time and find it. It is on camera. We have.
I want to see if Umar finds it and shows it. We're going to see. What do y'all think? You think he's going to do it, hit the 1? You think he's not, hit the 2? Yeah, he is. Yeah, Umar looking real rough. But I told people this was going to happen, didn't I? I told people months ago. I said that CashApp got shut down. I said, give it about 3 months. And then Umar's really going to start feeling it. Right? It's been more than 3 months at this point, I believe. And so I told people he's gonna start looking more and more bummy, and he gonna be up there begging for money. And I said he's gonna be right back inside his mama closet. Watch. Okay, he hasn't got back to his mama closet. Well, actually, he has since I made that statement, but he's gonna be back there soon, this time around for sure. Okay, I don't think Umar's gonna do it. I don't think he is at all. In fact, I don't even think that the and I could be wrong, but I don't think that the video surveillance is well. First, I don't think that if he has it, that it's focused on the other side of the street like that. That wouldn't really make sense because there's nothing. He hasn't done any renovations over there. He's abandoned those abandoned buildings on the side of the street. He just stores his belongings over there. It's like a self-storage. Umar is a self-storage struggle streamer. That's what he is. He goes to the FDMG self-storage. He's a struggle streaming FDMG self-storage. Anyway, but so on one hand, I don't think that the camera would be able to show who broke in allegedly broke in to the other side of the street. But it's also quite possible that the cameras that he has on the other side of the street, the what he calls the small buildings, that they're non-functional anyway. That's also possible. They could just be up there as, like a deterrent. Okay, not that they're functional, but just the visual part of it becomes deterrent. Now, I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. But overwhelmingly, I think most people in the Cook Crash Chat would agree that it's extremely unlikely that Umar is, if there is footage, that he's going to go and sit through all that footage and then somehow find what he's looking for and then share it with everyone else. I highly doubt it. Just like I highly doubt he's going to start renovations on the other side of the street. It's all about getting money out of people and painting false narratives. That's what he do. All right. Okay. Let's keep going here.
Cameras around both buildings. Peace, Baba. It is on
what
camera.
I say anyway.
It is on camera.
What's funny about that? And I don't even know if I say, do I be saying anyway? I don't know. I don't even hear myself saying anyway. That's funny. Good question. Do I be saying anyway? I think you painting a false narrative, sir. Okay, let's go.
But I have to take time and go through 30 days of footage.
And, and thanks,
I have
Brandon.
to go through 30.
So thanks for that, Brandon. Umar, he gonna go do 30 days of footage. Okay.
30 days of footage. They destroyed my private book collection. I'm waiting on a locksmith. We getting new locks today.
Hey, why do you have your personal book collection inside of an abandoned building with no electricity, no HVAC or nothing? Because it was a self-storage.
Police said they're going to try on the doors. The police said they're going to pay close attention to the Frederick Douglass High School.
That don't even make sense. Try on the doors, pay close attention.
Until we get the electric on. Police said they're going to pay special attention to the Frederick Douglass High School. Somebody said Elon Musk broke into the building because I beat his father in the debate. Somebody said Elon Musk broke into the
Okay, that's ridiculous. Elon Musk is a billionaire.
High school because I beat his father in the debate. Somebody said Elon Musk broke into the high school. The saddest thing for me, though.
See what he doing? I should be watching this. I'm on my phone.
Somebody said Elon Musk broke into the high school because I beat his father in the debate. Somebody said Elon Musk broke into the high school. The saddest thing for me, though.
Okay, you see that coke jaw? It's quick. But you'll see his jaw, it'll go like it. See, it's uncontrollable. That's what it's called, coke jaw. Blinking is also something you'll see when people are, strung out on certain substances.
Broke into the high school. The saddest thing for me, though.
See that? Say it one more time.
Broke into the high school. The saddest thing for me, though, is nobody from the city bothered to call me and tell me. That's the saddest thing for me. That's the saddest thing for me.
There you go, too, right here. This right here is another sign. It's uncontrolled movement of the tongue. Now, I want to show y'all something. Remember the first documentary I did on Umar way back in the day?
this information on your YouTube, I'm asking you to give him 1 week.
Let me skip through because I don't even know what the section is, but it's after this. Yeah, Umar, he was tweaking bad in that video.
That he continues to echo in his own shattered psyche. Umar Johnson has become a slave to his own deluded mind and is oblivious to the truth that his life has become a cautionary tale of how fame, greed, selfishness, lies, deceit, mental disorder, and various addictions can, in fact, destroy a person's life from within. Know this, the walls of justice are closing in on Umar Johnson, and perhaps this will, in the end, be the path through which he can receive the proper intervention needed to climb up and out of the muck and mire that is his disgraceful and dishonorable life.
So, I have 3 possible suspects for the murder of my Philadelphia brother, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I have 3.
Yeah, he was in real bad shape at this point.
Number 1, and these are in no order. No suspect is of more interest than the other. These are in no particular order. You are listening to the Prince of Pan Africanism somewhere within the ghettos of North Central Philadelphia. The NBA, as a multinational corporation, is a suspect in Dr. Umar's investigation. The National Basketball Association is a suspect in Dr. Umar's investigation. That's right. The goddamn NBA is a suspect.
It's bad.
As soon as I said that, Mama Oya blew my cell phone off the stand. As soon as I named the NBA as a suspect, Mama Oya, and now the wins is coming. Soon when I said the NBA, Orisha Oya blew my phone off the stand. That's not proof that it was the NBA, but that's damn sure some good evidence.
Wow.
That's not proof that it was the NBA, but that's damn sure some good evidence that soon when I mention the NBA, the ancestors blow the cell phone off the stand. I just wanted to point that out. I just wanted to point that out. I just wanted to point that out. Did y'all see what just happened, brothers and sisters? Did you see what just happened? I've been talking to y'all for how long? How long I've been talking to y'all just now? How long have I been talking to y'all just now? And soon when I mention the NBA as the first suspect in Kobe's death, my cell phone get blown off the stand. That's not proof. It's still debatable, but it's a good piece of evidence.
I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani. I keep telling y'all that. Consciousness comes before coochie.
I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time, man. Take your time. Let me turn this heat down.
My baby was sleeping in the bed. Gotta go way off. I'm coming. Let me
See this guy?
get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time, man. Take your time. Let me turn this heat down.
My baby was sleeping in the bed. Gotta go way off to the kitchen.
And did you guys see what he was doing? Once he sat down? It's real quick, but let me see if I can catch it.
My baby was sleeping in the bed. Gotta go way off to the kitchen.
Okay, now let's go back. Watch.
Yes. Thing for me. Yes. Thing for me. Thing for me.
See, that's part of that coke jaw thing. If you guys
City
research
bothered to call me and tell me. That's the saddest thing for me. That's the saddest thing for me. Yes.
See, it's he doesn't mean to do it. Look at him. It's sad. It really is. But hey, he's 50. It's on him. Ain't on nobody else. He's had plenty of opportunity and plenty of time to get his life turned around. He needs to get in detox, and he needs to get in rehab, and he needs to get some psychological services that he needed. And he's needed those psychological services for decades. See that? You guys can go look it up. Go look up what they call that, coke jaw, and then they'll give you what it means, and then also symptoms of it. And one of the things is this uncontrolled movement of the tongue, and then also doing like this, uncontrolled.
So tomorrow I will be in Harlem, New York. Where my New York City Africans at? Tomorrow I will be in Harlem, New York. Where my New York City Africans at? Tomorrow I will be in Harlem, New York. Where my New York City Africans at? I will see y'all at the Harlem State Office building. I will see y'all. How is the cameras without the electric? Let me worry about that.
Here we go. See that? Let's see. I want to see how he explains this. Let's see.
I will see y'all. How is the cameras without the electric? Let me worry about that. Let me worry about that. You don't need to know everything. They said, how you...
See, there you go again. Look. See that?
Let me
really have. He's having some serious problems with this right now.
Let me worry about that. Tomorrow I will be in Harlem, New York. Where my New York City Africans at?
Yeah,
I will see y'all at the Harlem State Office building. I will see y'all. How is the cameras without the...
but he that's one of his addictions is food. He'll eat. He will eat like, I mean, I'm talking gluttonous.
Electric. Let me worry about that. Let me...
Yeah, you see the coke jaw and then going the opposite direction, and then the thing where he's doing like this. But it's real pronounced that this time. Look.
I will see y'all. How is the cameras without the electric? Let me worry about that.
See that? There it is.
Let me worry about that. You don't need to know everything. They said, how you got cameras in a high school without the electric? Let me worry about that. Y'all worry about too much. That's none of your business. Harlem, New York.
He don't have an answer to that. Someone asked him a critical question. He just passed it over right away. He's something else.
Tomorrow, there's a rally for Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso.
The cocaine jaw, also known as bruxism or clenching of the teeth, is a condition that affects people who regularly use cocaine. It occurs when someone has been using cocaine for an extended period of time. Yep. Blinking too is one of the symptoms. Yep. And Umar, he does that. He doesn't do it all the time, but sometimes it's just uncontrolled. He just, yeah, it is what it is. You can't blame anyone else for that. Okay, I'm gonna let it play. We're gonna wind this down now. Thank you all so much, Cook Fresh Chat. Here we go.
In the Sahel Alliance, including Niger and Mali, General Goita and Chiani, Dr. Umar will speak at 6 o'clock tomorrow at the State Office building. I need my Harlem Queens to come give me a hug. I'm a little sad that we got vandalism again at the school. I'm a little sad we got break-ins again at the school. I'm a little sad they destroyed my 5,000 collection private book. I'm a little sad right now, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little sad right now. I thought vandalism was over. I thought the break-ins was over. They destroyed my private book collection. I'm a little sad right now.
Again, why is your private book collection inside abandoned buildings? Well, because Umar's been homeless since 2019. And he moved all of his belongings into the larger building on the other side of the street. And it's been sitting there now for 6 years. And it's actually been sitting there for, it's closer to 5 years and 10 months, even though he's had these buildings for 6 years and 4 months, because I've already done the math. Anyway.
So I need some hugs from my Harlem queens tomorrow. I need some hugs out of my Brooklyn queens tomorrow. I need some hugs out of my queens from Queens tomorrow. I need some hugs from my Bronx queens tomorrow. Can I get a hug from my Bronx queens tomorrow in Harlem? Can I get a hug from my Brooklyn queens tomorrow in Harlem? Can I get a hug from my queens?
Well, Umar, if you just commit to one woman, you can just, whatever you're dealing with, you can talk to her about that, you know, and she can help you anyway.
Tomorrow in Harlem. Can I get a hug from my Harlem queens tomorrow in Harlem? Can I get a hug from my Staten Island queens? Can I get a hug from my Syracuse queens and my Rochester?
Tardive dyskinesia, TD, is a condition where your face, body, or both make sudden, irregular movements. You can't control these movements. It can develop as a side of drugs, like a side effect of drugs. Yeah. Check me. Okay, I'll check it right now. Thanks, Black Anonymous.
Queens and my Buffalo queens. Can I get a hug from my Connecticut queens and my New Jersey queens? Tomorrow, I'm pulling up at 5 o'clock. I speak at 6 o'clock, and I will fellowship and take photos until 9 o'clock. I said I'm pulling up at 5 o'clock. I speak at 6 o'clock, and I will fellowship and take photos because I ain't been to Harlem in a minute. Harlem with Chicago gave birth to Dr. Umar. Harlem with Chicago gave birth to Dr. Umar. Harlem is where Pan Africanist Malcolm X made his name. Harlem is where the right, excellent, most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey made his name. Kwame Nkrumah spent time in Harlem. Henry Highland Garnett, Alexander
Harlan? What's Harlan?
John Brown Russworm, the first black newspaper founded by Pan-Africanist Jamaican John Brown Russworm with Samuel Cornish from Whitehair in Delaware, was out of Harlem, brothers and sisters. So I want to see all my Harlem.
Boy, it's dirty up there too. Didn't he get it power wash? Maybe they only power wash one side of the street, but it's dirty. I would not be sitting up there.
My Harlem alpha males, I'm gonna see my brothers too. My Harlem alpha
mowed all up there too, up there by the sign.
Males.
It's crazy. There you go again. Yeah, he's high right here, big time.
Harlem alpha.
You can also tell too, it's subtle, but he's slurring his speeches. If his speech is slurred, it's slightly slurred. You can hear it. At least I can hear it.
Alpha males, I'm gonna see my brothers too. My Harlem alpha males.
There you go again. You see it? Okay, and Black Anonymous sent me another one. I downloaded. I'll play it here. Let's see what's in this one. Here we go.
911 is going down. 911 is going down. Don't come here looking for no queens, brother. Don't come.
Yeah, I remember this one. I remember. He already did it once already. I remember.
911 is going down. 911 is going down. Don't come here looking for no queens, brother. Don't come here looking for no queens. This is not the thirst picnic. Okay, you might want to go to that Book of Coons. I heard the Book of Coons is having a picnic somewhere else in Wilmington. All the haters gonna have their own picnic. That's what I heard.
There it is again.
That's what I heard.
Yep. There it is again. Yep. Now think about it. James Brown used to do that too, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. All right. Yep. Thank you, Black Anonymous. Shout out to Black Anonymous. All right, let's get back to the other video. It's crazy. There's other examples too. We would just have to go back and look.
I want to say.
Here we go.
All of a sudden, I leave for. Do I want for Father's Day? Make a donation to the Frederick Douglass and
he need that money. See,
Marcus Garvey Academy, so we can get the electric on, brothers and sisters. Will y'all help me get the electric on in the Frederick Douglass High School?
See, I told y'all he's gonna start asking for money. Listen, he just running the same script that he did before. What's up, Kev? He's such a scammer.
Will y'all help me get the electric on in the Frederick Douglass High School?
Umar, why don't you go get a job and start paying for some of this stuff? It's been too long, man. You need to have some skin in the game. How much money have you donated? That's like when his followers say, well, you didn't donate. Well, Umar didn't donate either. He just take the money. Now he be. Your kids will see this. Says, I think this was done a while ago. He had this in his back pocket. Now the Cash App is gone. He can pull it out. Now he says he needs 100,000. Well, I didn't hear him say 100,000. Is it? I don't remember him saying 100. That's a lot. What? 100,000 to get the lights on in that building. Is it this video? I haven't heard him say that. Did he say it and I missed it? Let me go back. Y'all let me know in the chat room. I didn't hear him say 100,000. Let me see.
Founded by Pan Africanist Jamaican John Brown Russworm with
Ooh, my wife is cooking something. I'm hungry too. I'm so hungry today. Can't wait.
Samuel Cornish from Whitehair in Delaware was out of Harlem, brothers and sisters. So I want to see all my Harlem alpha males. I'm going to see my brothers too. My Harlem alpha males.
Damn, that Coke jaw's really kicking up.
What do I want for Father's Day? Make a donation to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus.
See, he didn't say I want to see my kids. I want to be able to spend time with my children. He don't say nothing. He just, I want some money.
Garvey Academy so we can get the electric on, brothers and sisters. Will y'all help me get the electric on in the Frederick Douglass High School?
Yeah, my kids got me stuff for Father's Day, but it was all stuff. My youngest son, this is his birthday next week. My youngest son, he got a whole bunch of stuff, but I looked at it, I was like, this stuff is for you, ain't it? He starts smiling because he got a poster of LeBron James because he know I'm just gonna be like, hey, here, son, let's put this in your room. He got a grill. I kid you not. He got a grill. You know, the one that you just stands up. You can. And I was like, wait a minute. What am I gonna do with the grill? And he was like, hey, Dad, can you show me how to grill next week? I said, okay, I'll see what time it is. All right, he was smart about it though. Yeah. What's up, money? Yeah, this bando it's just 6 years and 4 months. At least get the mold up off the sign. At least take the sign down. That's the Moore Academy High School. Take the sign down, get the mold off, and put FDMG up there. It's a doggone shame. Oh, and yeah, on the ground too. It's we can see that too. That's what I'm saying. Because he had someone come and power wash the dirt and mold off of the other side of the street, but evidently they didn't even do it on this side of the street. That's crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't even be sitting down right here. There's no way.
Harlem alpha males. I'm gonna see my brothers too. My Harlem alpha males. What do I want for Father's Day? Make a donation to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say 100K.
Academy so we can get the electric on, brothers and sisters. Will y'all help me get the electric on in the Frederick Douglass High School? Will y'all help me get the electric on in the Frederick Douglass High School? Will y'all help me get the electric on in the Frederick Douglass High School? Hit your
see that's compulsive.
PayPal.me/
He's such a scammer.
FDMG Academy. Hit your PayPal.me/FDMG Academy.
Remember, he should have been sitting on $850,000 after he acquired these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. And then he said that it was going to cost, one time he said it was going to cost $500,000 to do all the renovations on the other side of the street. And then one time he said it's going to cost $1 million to renovate everything. All right, well, $400,000 for the abandoned buildings in 2019. And from 2019, based on the IRS filings from 2019 to 2023, Umar raised $1,618,354. Just from 2019 to 2023, we're not counting 2024 or 2025. We're not counting 2014, 15, 16, 17, or 18. If we take $1,618,000, $1,618,354, and then we're going to subtract the 400,000 purchase price. Online it says 400,000, but Umar says it's a little more than that, so we'll say $425,000. Umar should have been sitting, he should have right now, just based on how much money he raised with the IRS filings from 2019 to 2023, he should still have $1,193,000 left over. And we're not counting 2014, 15, 16, 17, or 18. We're not counting 2024 or 2025. He's a scammer. He's a con man. Where all this money go? Just by the IRS filings alone, 2019 to 2023, there's basically $1.2 million missing. Okay, $1,193,354. And all of that, you guys can go look this up on the IRS filings and just subtract the purchase price, which is $400,000. You can see that online. But Umar says a little more than that. Okay, well, $425,000. Subtract $425,000 from $1,618,354, and you're going to come up with $1,193,354. Now, people say that's a lot of money to be missing. Okay, well, if we divide that by 5 years, that's about $238,670 per year that's coming up missing. And with Umar's lifestyle, I can see that too. Of course, he purchased other things too, like the HVAC. He spent money on different things, so you can take some money out of that. But the point is that he had more than enough money to get electricity turned on both sides of the street. But there's so much money that's missing because he's been living off this money since 2014. Okay, all that's provable. Okay, even you, Umar Johnson followers, just go and look up the IRS filings for FDMG. There's 2 EIN numbers. You can look up either one of those. You should look up both of them actually, because he never reported how much he collected with the first EIN number, which was from 2015 through 2017. All that money is personal income. And then all the money that he collects from in 2018 and in 2019, personal income. It's not until 2022 that he sets up a second EIN number, and then he starts to report to the IRS that he's collecting money. There's a lot of money that's missing, and most of it was personal income. He's been collecting money since the St. Paul's College for 11 years. He's only reported to the IRS 5 years out of 11. Where's the rest of that money? He's a con man. Now he's asking people for more money to get electricity turned on. He should have money to get electricity turned on. And your kids will see this. He said he needs 100K. I haven't seen that yet, but we're gonna find out. Let's keep going. Thanks for super chat, and thanks for super chat as well. Money, appreciate it. Umar Abama Yayo Himbo. I don't know about that because he's scraping at the bottom of the barrel. He'll take whatever he can get. See, got 5 on it. User 225. Do you think paint was already there, or was it vandal? That paint, I don't think Umar did it. I think it was done years ago. I think 2, 3, could be 4 years ago, and it's just been sitting in there. I don't think that it's like paint in a paint bucket that was used. I think that what was used was like spray paint, the kind that they use for graffiti. That's what I think was used. But a lot of it, obviously, a whole lot of it was used, and it's caked in because all that's baked into the floor because it's been sitting there for such a long time. And when it gets hot, it turns into, it's like an oven in there. And then on top of that, if you guys look closely, you'll see there's dust on top of things too. Okay, why would there be dust on top of the all that dust on top of the paint if this just happened over the last 30 days? No, it happened a long time ago, and the dust has settled on top of it. And see, some people will say, well, wouldn't Umar have cleaned it up? What do you mean? Why wouldn't Umar have cleaned it up? He don't never clean up. He's used to that. That's no big deal. Umar could walk in there with all that filth, and if there was a bed in there, he'll lay down and go to sleep. That's Umar. Real talk. It's sad, but that's truth of the matter. Thank you, user 225. Thanks, Pierre Land, and thanks, Money. Everyone else. Okay, we're gonna close this out now. How much longer we got on this? Let's see, there's about 15 more minutes. So I'm gonna try to limit my commentary because I gotta go to bed. Okay, here we go.
Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Check a money order. No Cash App. We don't have a.
See him blinking and stuff? See that? I'm just talking about that.
PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Check a money order. No Cash App. We don't have a Cash App. No Cash App. No Cash App. We only have PayPal. We only have PayPal. Check a money order. You can mail it. Check a money order. You can mail it. Check a money order. You can mail it to P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. Check a money order. You can mail it to P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. Check a money order.
Here we go again, boy.
You can mail it to P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. 19809, brothers and sisters.
There you go again. He did it again with the Coke jar. It's quick though, but he did it.
This is my Father's Day gift. Mail it to P.O. Box 96.
Woe's me. Cue the violins.
34 Wilmington, Delaware. 19809.
He's always the victim.
Brothers and sisters. This is my Father's Day gift. Vandalism,
break-in, and private book collection completely destroyed. That's my Father's Day gift. My Father's Day gift is vandalism.
Why are you always yelling?
Break-in, and my private book collection and school supplies completely destroyed.
And whose fault is it, Umar? It's your fault.
Completely destroyed. Completely destroyed.
Yeah, there you go again.
I don't take grants unless they're from black people. This is a self-determination project, my brothers.
No, it's not. It's other people's money, and you ain't doing nothing but being a... Let me stop.
This is a self-determination project. I don't take grants. If it ain't black, I don't want it. We have security cameras. I already told you that. Security cameras don't stop a break-in, my brother.
Yeah, but you also said you had an alarm system, right? On both sides of the street, because we covered that earlier. The alarm should have... Matter of fact, you should have it set up to where you get notifications directly to your phone, Umar. What are you talking about?
We don't have security surveillance on the high school. We have security surveillance on the elementary school.
Okay, well then you don't have... Anyway, this guy... does Umar know the race of all people who have... No, he doesn't. And there's... Listen, I'm sure that there are other groups of people that have donated that are quote-unquote non-black. I'm sure of it. But Umar don't care. Money is green. Okay? He'll take anybody he can get. If paint was there for years, why Umar Johnson only cry now? Well, because he needs money. He has to come up with something. He has to come up with something. I explained this yesterday. He can't say that, okay, I need, because here's the thing. He needs big money. That's the thing. He needs big money. CashApp gets shut down. That money's not coming in like it used to. The GoFundMe, he made a whole lot of money on GoFundMe. That got shut down years ago. PayPal got shut down twice. No, PayPal got shut down at one time, but then he reestablished it. So it's active now. What he needs right now is big money. Okay. Not where nickel and diamond, where they send him $20 gift cards, or Sister Avanti sends him 10. He says, next time, make it 20. Umar needs tens of thousands of dollars at this point. Oh, he needs more than that. But I'm just saying that's in his mind. That's where all this is going. So he can't say, listen, I need more donations to come in right now so that we can finish with the small school, because he said that the renovations were done there back in 2023. So he can't do that. He can't say another paint day. How many paint days are you going to have? Yeah, could he say, listen, I need donations for tiles? I forgot to show you that picture too, by the way. Yeah, he could do that. But I thought renovations were already complete over there. You see what I'm saying? So user 225, what he's attempting to do is to shift focus away from the small buildings, because he's already maxed out on big money, getting big money for those. And then he wants people to focus on the larger building. And what he's doing is he's using this vandalism that took place years ago. I mean, it could have been 10, really, because the way that it looks, I'm thinking 2 years. He at this point, he's saying, okay, let me use that. And let me fabricate this false narrative, this story, which he does all the time, and tell it to the people so that they will be encouraged and inspired and feel bad for me on Father's Day to send me money. Not 10, next time make it 20. He needs thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars. And so the electricity to get all that turned on, it's going to be expensive. So what he's done is he's attached this idea of getting electricity with being able to have functional cameras to be able to keep the place secure. And by keeping it secure, people won't be able to break in and they won't be able to vandalize like they did. You see how he's just connecting all of these things. The logic stream doesn't work, but ultimately he's doing all of this in order to get money out of people. That's why he's doing this now. Listen, there's probably other areas that are vandalized on that side of the street, because that's way bigger than the other side. There's probably other stuff that's been vandalized. And he may pull that out of his pocket later on at some point too. There's no telling with this guy. See, he's a con man. He's a scammer. He knows what he's doing. Now, is it going to work? Is he going to get, you know, the money? And some people keep saying $100,000. I don't know if he said that or not. I didn't see it. But is he going to get that kind of money? I don't think so. But it's not about getting that amount of money so that he can actually start renovations over there. It's about getting as much money as he can in order to get to the plug, to get his next fix. That's all this comes down to. And it's rinse and repeat. This happens. It's over and over again, over and over again. Yeah, there was a time he was doing this with the HVAC. You guys remember that? I need you guys to donate because we got to get this HVAC. It's going to be, he was quoting prices, if memory serves me correctly. I think he said 25,000 or, you know, that kind of thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, and then he starts begging hard because he needs that money. Why? To renovate? See, if he needed the money to renovate and he's telling people to send him all this money, shouldn't he be renovating today? Or yesterday? Or the day before? Is that what we seen? No, that's not what we seen. In fact, let me go over here too. Maybe he has. I mean, I ain't been over to his Instagram page. Let me go see. And I'm gonna show y'all something else before I forget. Then we're gonna wind this down for sure. I don't see no renovation going on here. Yeah, No, he ain't posting nothing about no renovations or nothing like that. Well, he's something else. He's a con man. Let me see if I could find this receipt real quick. Hold on, everybody. It's a picture. And I totally forgot to show this. Let me see if I have it in here. No, it's not. Let me check. Matter of fact, I'll go back to his Instagram page. It should still be up there. Okay, give me one moment. Oh, matter of fact, here, I'll let this play and then I'll be right back. Thank you, Saw232 and user 225. Let me let this play and I'll find this receipt. We're almost done with this video too.
We have security surveillance on the elementary school. Mm-hmm. Portuguese African, send the invitation. Y'all know my number, 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. No more questions about the school. I'm sick and tired of questions about the school. You don't donate anyway, okay?
He's
y'all
so
keep
mad.
sabotaging and vandalizing the school, then y'all want to ask about what's up with the school.
He's
what's up
really
with
upset.
the school is you need to leave it the hell alone so we can finish the school.
Who are he talking to? He's so mad.
It's going to be an elementary school, Princess. Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Elementary School. Have you ever heard of Frederick Douglass? You haven't heard of Frederick Douglass? He helped our people fight and get free from slavery to freedom. Yeah. And Marcus Garvey, he gave us the largest black organization in modern history. And this school is going to be named after Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey.
Damn, he just lying to these kids. This is sad, y'all. This is one of the lowest of the lows that he's ever been. Oh, he posted some stuff on there I haven't even seen. Y'all, this is, boy, I'm gonna tell y'all. They're just pictures, but let me download this. Man, this guy, he's something else. Because I ain't been going on his Instagram page. People been sending me stuff, but I haven't been looking for stuff. But I was looking for something else to show y'all, but I want to show y'all this right here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to change this date. Okay. And then there's one more that what I'm actually looking for. Let me see if it's still up on here. I know I downloaded it, but I can, it may be inside of my 2025 folder for this month. It should be, but let me just see if it's on here. No, he must have taken it down. No, here it is right here. Some of you guys may have seen it, but I'm going to show this to you. I have 3 images I'm going to show you guys, and then we'll finish up with this video. I meant to do this yesterday. Okay. All right. And this is from the 6th. All right. Let me do these real quick, and we'll finish up with this video. All right. Let me just share these images with you guys. Okay, this is the one from the 6th. See, he's not going to be able to get big money trying to get people to donate for this right here. This is FDMG Academy, PayPal me, FDMG Academy, P.O. Box. These are tiles, allegedly. Tiles that they're going to be putting down on the ground. So he's not going to be able to get much money from that. Okay, but if he says we need to get electricity on the other side of the street because we got to secure these buildings and they're vandalizing and et cetera, then people are going to be more inclined to actually donate. This is actually quite ridiculous for him to be doing this. It really is. Okay, so that's the first one. Let me pull up the next one. I did not see this. Well, I actually haven't been on his page, but this is another example that he used for vandalism. I don't even know what this is. Does anyone have an idea what this is? Is it a no? I think what it is, it's a ring camera at the door, right? Well, what do you expect, Umar? They're abandoned buildings. Okay, so that's another one. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, a real man would just put it back, fixed it. But not Umar. He needs money. He needs y'all to send him money to do it. And then here's the other one right here. FDMG Academy, the final, now he's saying the final renovations, tiled floors and classroom doors. Picked up 21 pieces of donation mail today. Thank you, family. This is from the 14th. Okay. So he knows what he's doing. He needs more money. At the end of the day, that's what this all comes down to. And he's fabricating this whole new story. He wants to blame other people, including the people in Wilmington, the children. He calls the police. He's blaming his supporters too. Don't ask me nothing about the school. He's blaming me. He's blaming the Cookie Crush chat, and the list goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that Umar, he wants money. He needs money so that he can continue living out his self-destructive lifestyle. Okay, let's finish this up for sure now. There was another video I want to get into with Father David, but we'll have to table that until next week. User 225 says Father's Day is only for non-deadbeats. Yeah, but you would think that with everything that's taking place on Father's Day, he should be with his children. At least he should have been putting forth the effort to try to mend the relationship. But what does he do on Father's Day? He's all by himself up here begging for money. The irony of it too, right? Begging for money at a school that does not exist with children that don't even know him, and he's up there calling the police on the kids. That's what he's doing. They're inside. These kids are inside abandoned buildings. That's what he's doing for Father's Day. Deadbeat. That's the irony. Okay. All right. Thanks, user 225. All right, we close this out now. Here we go.
As soon as we can stop people from vandalizing the school that we're trying to fix up.
Why are you talking to these kids like this, you big old baby?
Well, that school is done over there, little brother.
Can you believe this guy? Damn, he lies so much, it's incredible. I don't get it. He don't feel no remorse lying to these kids talking about that school over there is done. He is. He cray. He out there. I mean, the guy is totally delusional. He's delusional. Yeah, real talk, Frederick. That's what he said, Cookie. He said now it's final renovations, whatever that's supposed to mean. Yeah, it is. This is beyond sad where he started and what's happened since. Yeah, it's just the trajectory just down and down, and you would think that he would have figured it out by now that this is just not working. But he's subject to his addictions, and it's a sad thing. But it's on him. I think his daughter went in on him yeah, she did. I didn't want to play it though, but she cursed him out. Yeah, he up here lying to the kids. But that's Umar. Can you imagine once the school opens, will he be just lying all the time? Yeah, that's what he said, Chris. He said it's done. Yeah, no remorse. Yeah, no, not even a box of pencils. That's real talk. He always lying though. That's what he do. He's a pathological liar. He gonna lie straight to their face while he live streaming. Yeah, they don't care. I don't even know who he is. His presence in the community is actually hurting. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's taken out the potential of them having a whole new facility, sports facility up there on where that property sits, attached to the Boys and Girls Club, and that's all free. They wouldn't have to pay for anything. That was the plan that the EPA suggested to the city of Wilmington. But Umar, he's been sitting on these trap banners for 6 years and 4 months. Not one child been educated, and he even up here calling the police on the kids and lying to the kids on the same day, on Father's Day out of all days. Here we go.
The elementary school is ready.
This guy, I can't believe this guy.
School is ready. We just got to do some tile.
Okay, well then it's not ready then. They're sealing up tiles. I don't even start with the IT. You got IT infrastructure. You still got to get it furnished. You got to get everything inspected. Come on, Umar. This guy, he lies so much. And he does it on live for everyone to see. He don't care.
But over here, we got to get started. Yes, that's the elementary school. That's the Marcus Garvey building. This is the high school. This is the Frederick Douglass building. This is the one we still got to fix up. That school is ready. You're going to go in that one at first, and then when you get to high school, you come to this one. Well, it's the school, so nothing's in there yet, right? Because we haven't furnished the buildings yet.
Yeah, look at the coke jaw.
There yet, right? Because we haven't furnished the buildings yet. A regular school. Good. I want you to do well this year.
He got that coke jaw big time.
Peace. All right.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
What in the world are you doing, Umar?
Get out of here. Moyer Academy. Yes, sir.
What is he doing?
Yes, sir.
See somebody trying to do something with it, especially I know it's you into it.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Umar.
Yes, sir. That school is done. We just got to do the floors.
Okay.
So I'm waiting on that.
So it's not done, Umar. Cut it out.
Trying to get the best price. You know how to.
Why is this guy doing crotch shots? I don't understand it. His daddy did this one time too. I said, what in the thoughty?
Contractors be. This school we got to get started on. So they just broke in here, bro, and vandalized my whole private book collection.
Is there a way I can play this without?
Books, man.
Hold on one
Pour
second.
paint all over it and everything. So I'm waiting on my locksmith.
I don't think they poured it. It looked like it was. To me, it looked like it was spray paint. So I don't think it was poured. But I could be wrong on that. Let me see if there's a way I can play this without his crotch being on. What kind of man? What's he doing? I can't even play it. Well, at least I can do it like this.
Because he got to give us some new locks. You know what I mean? It just hurts my heart, though. You're trying to build a school.
Okay, can you guys still hear this? See, all of this, I'm gonna play it, but let me know if you guys can hear it.
For the children. And, we've been going through this for 6 years, bro. They spray painted on the back. Why would you spray paint on the school? We trying to fix up for the kids. You know what I mean?
Okay, you guys can still hear? Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, Alakita says she can't. Okay, Naeem. What's up, Naeem? Okay, so I can play it like this just until the crotch shot is over with. So more goofy.
It hurt my heart a little bit, man, because you try so hard and your own people tear you down, but we going to stay focused. You know what I mean?
He said that 4 years ago.
Yes, sir. For sure, man. For sure.
I definitely respect and appreciate the seeing.
Yes, sir. We getting there. When we apply for the certificate over there, if all goes well, we're going to do a grand opening. It might be before the year out. Okay. And then once we done over there, we're going to start over here.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
See, sometimes I think Umar does this on purpose just to irritate me. I'll start tweaking and shit. Listen, Umar said the school was going to open January of 2025, January of 2025, February of 2025. Then he said September of 2025. He also said last year he said August 21st of 2025. And then he said it's going to be in 2026. And now he's saying it's at the end of the year, sometime in 2025. Is this what I'm saying? He'll give the next year, and and he's done this before, and then he'll change it to that the previous year, which would be 2025. It just be this guy. He don't stop. I can't tell you how many times he said this. I was only one. Only gone 1 month. What happened? What happened? My thing is that sounds just like Umar. Thanks, Mr. Thundercloud. Okay. And let's finish up. This guy lies so much, it's incredible. I mean, I'm truly amazed. Let me get this. Hold on. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear it. Let me push play.
So we're gonna do second, third, and fourth grade the first year, and then the second year we're gonna go up and down the grade. So the second year will be first through fifth. Third year will be K through 6. Fourth year will be pre-K through 7. Fifth year will be daycare through 8. That give us 5 years to get the high school ready, so they could just come across the street. So that's the plan. You know what I mean? If motherfuckers leave us alone and let us do what we got to do.
Oh, somebody real mad. Umar, it's your fault. You should have secured the buildings. What kind of man? You got to blame everybody else and try to play the victim. Anyway, you up here, you're saying 5 years. In 5 years, the other side of the street's going to open. So 30. Y'all go ahead and book it. Get your flight ready, because I know y'all going to go crazy. Because I know y'all going. I know you're going to the grand opening. Now Miss Chris is going to be there. God's little prince is going to be in the front of the line. Okay. VIP arcade going to be there playing Game Boy. Amir going to be there playing the violin for Umar as he cries. Now he said that like I said it the last time. That's why he said it that way. Real talk. See? He be watching these videos, but he mad. No, it's okay. Go on up there. Listen. You going up there? That's all right. We'll get your plane ticket down. What do you say? 2025. And then 5 years down for the grand opening for the big school. 2030. Some of us we're gonna be dead by then. Real talk. Listen. I'm a realist. Some of us in this chat room, we might be dead by then. You want to go too? Y'all gonna come up there with some butter biscuits. I already know. Go bring the butter biscuits up there. Umar gonna be doing interpretive dances and shit. Watch. You know Umar be doing interpretive dances. He putting on them wigs. All right, that's enough. What's up, Jimmy Jamboree? Thanks for tuning on in. All right, let's finish this up for sure now, because I done had enough. This guy, Umar is so upset. That's what you get.
For the certificate over there, if all goes well, we're gonna do a grand opening. It might be before the year out, and then once we done over there, we're gonna start over here. Okay. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do second, third, and fourth grade the first year, and then the second year we're gonna go up and down the grade. So the second year will be first through fifth. Third year will be K through 6. Fourth year will be pre-K through 7. Fifth year will be daycare through 8. That give us 5 years to get the high school ready, so they could just come across the street. So that's the plan. You know what I mean? If motherfuckers leave us alone and let us do what we got to do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now, when we first got to school, so we had them for 6 years. We got to school in 2019.
6 years and 4 months.
When we first got to school, it was crazy because we ain't have no electric in either building. You feel me? So they was breaking in, robbing. Somebody took a shit inside the school. I'm like, bro.
I remember now. Y'all remember? See, because Umar didn't have running water, I think it was him. I think he was using them toilets and the stalls to urinate in. He was just filling them up. Y'all remember that? I remember. Oh man, because I remember I was showing it and there was women in the cooking set like, please don't show it again. And I was apologetic. I said, oh, I'm sorry. Then I'll play it again. Anyway, y'all remember that? Yeah, I remember it now. I have the video. I could probably find it, but it'll take me a while because I don't remember what year it was. But yeah, boy, this is crazy. He said, "He in here." Umar cut it. Here we go. Boy, this guy, he ain't got no sense. All right, here, let's finish up here. We got about 4 minutes on this video.
You could take a shit in the alley. Why would you shit in my school, bro? You know what I mean? So we went
in the alley. Is that what we doing now? Anyway, boy, this is crazy.
Hell, man. So we finally finished over there, but now we got to take care of this. So that's where we at, brother. Take my number so you have it in case you ever need to reach out to me, man.
You ain't doing
I know. I had security people I was paying to sit out here. They scam me too, bro. They would take a picture of them sitting in their car, go home, tell me they out here. I'll pull up. Nobody out here. Getting paid for doing nothing, man.
Oh, poor Umar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In there, though, okay, Dr. Umar, U-M-A-R.
I think he's done with
Brother
the
D. All right, D. Pleased to meet you, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got you.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right. All right. All right, D. All right. And if you come across any meetings they having in the city that you think I need to go to, just to familiarize myself, not to speak.
Why wouldn't you have done that after 6 years and 4 months? He said this in 2020 to this lady that was walking through here. I remember.
But just to kind of listen, to pick up on things, let me know. Send me some flyers. All right, D. No doubt, brother. All right, brother. I can't even go get nothing to eat because I'm fasting.
Oh, you poor guy.
I can't even go get nothing to eat because I'm fasting, brothers and sisters. I want to eat so bad. I want to get me
what,
a
Umar?
pint of butter almond ice cream, butter pecan ice cream.
Here he go.
You feel me? I just want to eat right now, but I can't eat. I can't break the fast, but I want to eat. Because you know when you eat, that calms your nerves, but I can't eat right now. Because this right here just, you know, they destroyed my book collection, man. They destroyed my book collection, man. They destroyed my book collection. Nobody called me and told me that they broke into the school. Y'all saw kids playing in the school. You ain't even called me, man. That shit hurts. That shit hurts.
What are you talking about?
Don't ask me no more questions about the school. I'm not answering no questions about the school. Feel how you want to feel. Think how you want to think. Lie like you want to lie. Slander me how you want to slander me. I'm not answering no more schools about the school. When it's done, it's done. I'm tired of this shit.
No more schools about the school.
I'm so tired of this shit.
You poor baby. He's such a baby.
I didn't grow up with Meek Mill. Meek Mill lived across the street. My brother grew up with Meek Mill. We lived on the same block, 18th Street.
Allegedly.
I didn't grow up with him. I don't know him. My brother knew him. I knew him as a little kid, but, you know, I never knew him. I just knew him as a little kid.
Uh-huh. Big old baby. Look at him rocking back and forth.
I ain't got no more books now, brother. They destroyed the books. I ain't got no more books. I got to rebuild my book collection.
Oh,
that was a 25-year book collection. I got to rebuild it.
Big old baby.
That was a 25-year book collection. I got to rebuild it.
Oh.
That's a 25-year book collection. I got to rebuild
quit
it.
repeating
It's all right, family.
You stop
It's
repeating
all right,
it,
family.
you have time to go get
your
book.
PayPal. If you care, have you donated?
There you go.
Hit your PayPal.
You need that money.
PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit your PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. You got a credit card, go make a donation. I got to get this electric on in the high school.
Card.
I know this is going to cost us at least $100,000 to get this.
And it's exactly 100,000, right? Remember we were talking about this? He just be coming up with figures off the top of his head. Yeah, I know that it's going to cost 100,000. Not $125, not $118 and $115,327.58. It's just $100,000. Here we go. Same thing over and over again with this guy. Let me see something real quick, because I need a break. He lied too much. I think this is the toilet video right here. Rest in peace to Brother Manny. Boy, they really painted this thing and it just turned it into a horror awful looking situation. I think this is when he go. Oh, but I don't think this. I think they had already gotten all the stuff out the bathroom by this time. Yeah, because before there was all kind of. Yeah, it would have had to have been before this. Anyway, I thought
Las Vegas West Coast boot camp. Let's make it pop.
All right, Umar, cut it out. All right, let's finish up for sure now. He said 100,000. He need big money. He needs, and he'll throw 100. But if he can get 20,000 out of the saying he needs 100, well, that's 20,000 to go toward the plug. That's a good come up, especially if you ain't doing nothing.
Electric done. It's gonna cost us some money, brothers and sisters. Make sure I got to get this electric on in the high school. I know this is going to cost us at least $100,000 to get this electric done. It's going to cost us some money, brothers and sisters. Make sure you donate. Make sure you donate, brothers. And we got to get the electric on in the high school so we can get security.
See, electricity is associated with security. That's why he's using
the cameras work. We already talked about that. Cameras don't stop a break-in. We need security surveillance. We have security surveillance on elementary. We don't have it on the high school because we need more electric. We need electric. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. If you're not an African, you cannot donate. I appreciate your support, but this is a Black people's agenda. This is a Black people's initiative. If you're not an African, you cannot donate. What happened to the FDMG CashApp? The struggle streamers had it shut down. What happened to the FDMG CashApp? The struggle streamers had it shut down. What happened to the FDMG CashApp?
No. What he got to repeat things 3 times. Compulsive. Listen, Umar, the CashApp got shut down for the same reason that the GoFundMe got shut down. It's because of fraud. See, if everything was on the up and up with CashApp and with GoFundMe on Umar's end, he could just simply set up another one, but he can't do that because if he's shut down because of fraud, he can't go back and do it. But he has to blame someone else. That's what he does over and over and over again.
Struggle streamers had it shut down.
Oh. He's so mad.
Harlem State Office Building. Harlem State Office Building tomorrow, 3 until 9. Dr. Umar speaks at 6. Harlem State Office Building, 3 o'clock until 9 tomorrow. Father's Day. Father's Day, we are in Harlem, rallying for Africa. Father's Day, we are in Harlem tomorrow, Sunday, June the 15th. 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. Dr. Umar speaks at 6. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. FDMG Academy. Say a prayer for me, say a prayer for FDMG. Say a prayer for me, say a prayer for FDMG.
Notice he ain't doing nothing. Ain't you supposed to be finishing up?
Say a prayer for me, say a prayer for FDMG. You could text me at 215-989-9858. You can text me at 215-989-9858. You can text me at 215-989-9858.
And that's it. All right. This concludes this particular saga, but who knows what comes up next? We may have to do part 5 and 6 as this saga continues. I want to thank everyone for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. By the way, I do have other examples of vandalism. We won't get into it during this live stream, but I've already set those videos aside. One of the things back in 2019, in fact, it was what was this? October 22nd of 2019. There was a fire up there, and I have the video. I'm going to play that for you all, just to go to show you that Umar's used many different events as like these acts of vandalism. He turns it into these major acts of vandalism, and then he asks for money, because he asked for money after this too. But here's the video right here. I wanted to play this for y'all before we finish up.
Tell Dad to bring it out.
Right now, Umar ended up posting this picture of, it looked like fire damage, but I did the research and it wasn't from FDMG. So to what degree this damage took place, it was probably minimal. I mean, it could have been even outside, because it didn't look like they were inside. But Umar turns it into this whole big, some of y'all remember this, he turns this into this whole big thing, and that it was an act of terrorism and sabotage and vandalism, all this type of thing. No, I have a video of Umar when he's talking to Brother Manny, rest in peace, and they're talking about that he's live streaming, he forgets that it's still live streaming. He thinks that his live stream's over, and you hear him having this conversation about the drug paraphernalia that they had inside of the building. He was asking Manny whether or not he had gotten all of the drug paraphernalia out there, and he said something to the effect of, did you get everything that we were burning up in there? Something like that, or that was something like that. It was on fire or whatever. So the point I want to make is that given Umar's history, it's actually, and in that video, he didn't realize that he was live streaming. Then when he realizes it, he goes, "Oh shit, I forgot," because he got caught. That video alone, is it possible that Umar's the one who started that fire? Yeah, it's possible, because I already told people a long time ago there was a kicking spot. They go up there, his friends, they get together. Not even friends, but his I want to be respectful. So, different people come through and they blaze up. So if people really want to think about it, what Umar has turned FDMG into is his own little kicking spot where they blaze up and then self-stored for all of his belongings since he got evicted back in 2019. And that's the answer to the poll question. Well, there ain't nothing like this Umar saga. I ain't seen nothing like it. I haven't seen nothing, not even close. Make sure you get your final votes in. I'm going to go ahead and close out this poll right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. We'll be back next week. Okay, I got to go to bed. I should have been asleep already. My wife, she's making I think she's making tacos, so I'm going to eat before I go to bed. I'm hungry. The poll question is, how long has Umar Johnson been homeless? 40% said since 2011. 15% said since 2000. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. What happened here? 15% said since 2015, 41% said since 2019, and 4% said since 2023. And the answer to this is that Umar has been homeless since 2019. I showed the receipt. He also received a complaint from the owner of that property, landlord, I would think, back in 2010, but he was able to resolve it. So he was there at least from 2010 until 2019. But then that eviction, that complaint comes through, and I think I want to say it was in September 10th of 2019, if memory serves me correctly. He's unable to resolve that, and then he gets actually evicted, and then you start seeing him live streaming out of hotels and motel rooms. He'll live stream more inside of his car, and then you start seeing him live streaming inside of his mama's closet, and that's where he's consistently live stream when he's not in the hotel room or inside of or in front of the FDMG abandoned buildings. I'm going to make another point, final point on that. It was that in addition to getting evicted, Umar ended up moving all of his belongings out of that property, and he moved them into the large school, what he calls the large school. And they've been sitting in there ever since 6 years. More precisely, though, it's actually 2020. It's actually closer to 5 years and 4 months. It's closer to 5 years because I want to be fair with Umar. So the point is that this whole saga with the vandalism, it's really rooted in the fact that Umar has turned FDMG into his own personal storage space. And if his properties weren't, his property, personal property wasn't in there and stored in there for 6 years, 5 years and 10 months, then he wouldn't have lost his so-called 5,000 book collection. It didn't look like a 5,000 in there either. All of his other belongings in there, they would not have been damaged. See, that's his fault. It's his fault for putting it there in the first place. That's not why people send him millions of dollars. He shouldn't have had it in the first place. But even still, if you're going to have it in there, you should have the building secured. He doesn't have the security. He didn't have the building secured back in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and obviously in 2025 he doesn't have it secured. Don't have the building secured because we have children in there who are playing inside of abandoned buildings with no electricity, and who knows what else is in there that is can cause harm to these children, including all the trash and junk and broken glass, so forth and so on. Okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you can hit that like button, if you did enjoy the show, we're at 424. We'll be back next week with another live stream. Real quick, Brandon says he never had a book collection. No, he did have a book collection. He did. It wasn't 5,000. That's the thing. It's just not 5,000. That's just Umar exaggerating. That's what he does. And he wants to make it seem like he had a big loss. Truth is, as a man, you shouldn't have that stuff in there, and you can't try to blame other people and then try to act like you're the victim now because you made the decision to have your funky books up in there and the other stuff, your clothes in there, so forth, the big back TV in there, so forth and so on. See, so he did have a book collection. It's just not 5,000 books. That's just Umar exaggerating. He wants to exaggerate to try to make it seem like he's really been violated. Umar, you're the violator. Okay, you're the master manipulator. You're the great deceiver of our time. Stop acting like a baby and crying and whining. Own up to something at some point. Okay, I'm tired of it. Thanks, Brandon, for the super chat. Your kids will see it says 100,000, 100K raw cash, and I ain't saying please and thank you. No, he never really expresses gratitude. That's the thing, but that's the narcissism. That's the entitlement. That's one of the aspects of narcissistic personality disorder. People feel as who have narcissistic personality traits, they feel as if they're entitled to everyone else's money, even though they don't work their own job. They feel like they're entitled to women. They can have sex with whoever they want to and whenever they want to. Cookies all the way across the board. See, Umar's sense of entitlement is tied to his grandiosity because he thinks that he's so great and he's the Black Messiah and Black Christ. Everyone owes him something. And when something goes wrong, it's not because of him, because he's the Black Christ. It's everyone else's fault. That's how he thinks with the narcissism. And then you rarely hear him say thank you. And I'm talking about a genuine thank you. I'm talking about a humble thank you. See, sometimes I get up and I'll be like, thank you guys so much. Okay, I'm not out and about in the world. I'm going up to, and someone, and I say, oh, thank you. I'm not doing that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Right. But I'll do it to you because I appreciate the support. I don't take it for granted. I definitely don't feel entitled to it. See, I don't even ask, but I do appreciate it. Umar, he begs, and he'll beg for 100,000 to get some electricity turned on. He'll beg for, what did he say when he said that he wanted them to pay for him to go to get to become a lawyer, to pay for law school? I think he said 300,000 or something like that, and he felt entitled to the money. Well, that's no different here. It's just now it's 100,000, in order to, I guess, get some electricity on so that they can have some security. No, security should have been in place in February of 2019. I told you that back then, Umar. You didn't listen, and here we are at today. And you want to whine and complain here in 2025. It's your fault. Okay. And well, what he needs to do is go get a job and then pay for stuff his own self. But that's Umar. Thanks, your kids will see this. And then Theater Valley, thank you so much for being a member. Says, was watching older vids of him and my God, he could have done so much with his education to help Black children reduce to piss, lies, and cookies. Yeah, there's different factors. The addictions, that includes the addiction to cookies and sexually exploiting Black women. Of course, the substance abuse, the food addiction. He has an addiction to attention too. He loves to be the center of attention. That's tied to the narcissism as well. He had the education to do things, but I think Theater with Umar, he had so many underlying issues, including mental health issues going back to childhood that went unresolved, It's still not an excuse though, because he could have had them resolved by now, but the narcissism was so great, he doesn't think that there's a problem. See, I would think that a person, anyone for that matter, that if their life is going and the trajectory is just down, and you can go back to 2006 and see where it was at, and then you just see steadily to where Umar is at today, you would think that the person who's experiencing that at some point in the descent, they will say, hey, wait a minute, it's not working. This is something's not right. And then instead of blaming other people, and I guess they can start by blaming other people, but then even if you blame other people, if things don't correct themselves, then you got to, at some point, you got to say, okay, wait a minute, this is me. And then when you realize that, you say, okay, what do I need to do to get this turned around? Umar, he hasn't even gotten to the point where he can admit to himself that he's the problem, let alone start to turn things back around. And so what we've seen is just the degradation of Umar over time. I outlined that inside the first documentary. You know, it's unfortunate, but at this point, it's on him. You know, he's 50. He can't blame anyone else. He has to man up. He has to be a man. He has to get up from his mama's skirt. Stop trying to beg people for everything in life. You know, get some help with get into detox. You know, get into rehab. Start getting the mental health services that he needs, and do that over time. And then surely but surely things that get turned back around. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort. But that's the path. Otherwise, what we're going to see through the red with Umar is he just continues to descend into what he has already become. And it's sad because to see this guy up here in 2025, and you got children running around in an abandoned building, and they come out and he's going at them, calls the police on them. I mean, what in the world's going on? He's supposed to be, let him tell it. He's supposed to save all the babies. That's not what he's doing. Then he gets up here, he's all mad, and he's blaming everybody else and talking all crazy. Don't ask me nothing about FDMG no more. Well, you the one that's always bringing it up to beg for money. Let me stop. Listen, if Umar, if you didn't mention it, then everybody be fine. Ain't nothing going up here anyway. But you got to mention it because you got to get the money. That's what it comes down to. Why don't you just go get a job? Taco Bell, Burger King, you know, USPS, they hiring. Go and get you a job. All right. And then get you a white woman too. You know, get you a job and get you a white woman. All right. Thanks, Didi Vetta. Then your kids will see this gift of the membership. Thank you so much. Please, whoever received that membership, make sure you thank your kids will see this. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. So much more to get into. We got a whole lot backlog of videos. I have them all archived and everything else. And then next week for sure, we'll get to the video where Umar, he's talking to Father David. And from what I hear, he's telling a story about a woman in Delaware who's had some choice words for him. And he tells the story. We'll get into that for sure. I have it queued up right here, but we don't have the time. We'll get into that for sure next week. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much again for tuning on in. If you haven't hit that like button, go on and hit that like button. Let me go ahead and close out this poll. We had over 1,000 votes. How long has Umar Johnson been homeless? 41% says since 2011, 15% says since 2015, 40% says since 2019, and 4% said since 2023. The answer is 2019. Okay. That's when he ultimately was evicted by the end of that year. And at that point, he's been homeless ever since. And all of his belongings, he was a hoarder then. In 2019, he's a hoarder today, including that big back TV. He just took all of that and put it inside of that small gym. And then ultimately it's vandalized probably about 2, maybe even 3 years ago. But he's pulling that card out now so that he can get $100,000. What kind of man? What kind of scam? All right. Thanks again, Cook Crochet, for tuning on in. And as we always do.
Oh my gosh, so you're fancy, huh?
Yeah, black community activist. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
well,
Black community scammer.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, we had a wonderful week. What's up, Identity with Hell? Thank you for tuning on, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah, we know. Let's see if we can get to 450 likes before we close out, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Keys B's in the building, and JRT and King K.O. Thanks for tuning on in this Independent My Way, Corn, and stay up. Everyone, please stay up. Key Live, thank you so much. Good night to you. Keys B, thank you for tuning on in with the big back Keys B. I said the big back butter biscuit teeth. Let me stop. Yeah, good night, Carol. Thanks for tuning on in. I didn't see no chubby bunnies. You seem like the kind of guy that. Thanks, Carol, for tuning on in. Yeah, you're right. That's crazy. Sun Kiss Melanin, thank you so much for tuning on in. And again, thanks your kids with you. I appreciate you. Sierra and Del, thank you. Gracias. ZV. Drew Green Soccer Videos. Alakia, good night to you. I appreciate you. Not much. Scamming. Thanks, ladies. Umar, he's the best scammer. Not in May. Thank you so much. Yeah, we may in the future sometime. There's so much to get into. Thanks, Ike, for tuning on in. A luta continua. Good for you. Okay. Gracias. Joshua and Pretty Brown Eyes and Victorious One and Get a Clip. No, it's not me. It's not me. I think it's AI. It's a really good song. Thanks, James. Thanks for all your help. We'll get into that other video next week for sure. Thanks, Brandon. And Black Mario. Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true about Umar. Yeah, he's a very insecure person. Very insecure. That goes back to childhood. Thanks, Sportsbet, for tuning on in. And Brother Naeem, Larry, and Brother Rob. Adios. Thank you for tuning in. Fresh Face in the building too. The Gray Pill Podcast. Shout out to Cherie, Rain Cloud, Sister Bridget. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, all of us YouTubians, thank you so much. Victorious One. Nighty night, Karen. Thanks for tuning on in. You've been delivered, huh? Oh no. Boy, y'all wow. All right, shout out to the Cookie Crush staff. Thank you, Fry Guy. I appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week. Please enjoy your evening and enjoy your weekend as well. I want to send lots of love and positivity to everyone. Also, thanks to everyone who sent in super chats. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, thanks if anyone sent in Cash Apps or PayPal. My Cash App, PayPal information listed down below in the description of this video. All right. Talk with y'all soon. Love y'all. Peace.